The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Response from St. Louis, and it's thanks to a gift from Connor Halley.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Second left in the period. Hartman is 502. And here's the play. Faceoff. It's in the middle of it once again. Minnesota.
What a positive Friday. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely Friday. It is game day. The Oilers, game 3, hosting the Los Angeles Kings tonight. Puck drop after 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern. And the Oilers... pretty much, it's not a must-win game because you're not facing elimination, but it's just pretty close. I don't know what term, I don't know what adjective you want to use, but it's a need-win game. Whatever it is for the Oilers, that's what they're going to do. Welcome to the Gregor Show. We're coming to you live at OTR on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, where you can stop in today. Get your table, make a call. If you want to reserve a spot tonight, it's going to be fantastic. Of course, you've got... today, half price appies and wine from 4 until 8. So, hey, if you want a little pregame, you can do it here. Of course, if you love beef taco, Korean barbecue beef taco, that's the big special tonight at OTR. And, of course, all sorts of game specials during the day. The Gregor Show, as always, presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca. You can get started first time with a $100 bonus. And for all of you repeat users, use the Gregor code Gregor100, and you'll get a free $100 play at PlayAlberta.ca. Lots of talk, not surprising. We mentioned it yesterday, but Calvin Pickard will get the start in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Maybe that can fix one of the problems for the team. We'll see. Now, can the power play wake up? Can the penalty kill get a kill? Can the Oilers avoid the glaring errors that have led to some easier opportunities and easier goals for the LA Kings? That's what's up for grabs tonight. I'd be surprised if the Oilers were that much of Santa Claus again, right? Like it's going to be pretty difficult to match, some of the giveaways that they've done. I guess it's always possible. So we'll see. A little bit of gamesmanship from Chris Knobloch. He was running different D pairs this morning. You had Nurse with Emberson, and you had Kulak with Wallman, and you had Bouchard and Klingberg together. But he said after the morning skate, don't read anything into it, which is interesting, but of course, we're going to read something into it. How can we not? Now, I did talk to John Klingberg about, playing the left side. He's done it a bit. Says there are times on the ice he actually likes it better, and then there's some situations where maybe not so much. And so somebody was telling me is when he's coming in, when he's defending, he kind of likes it as a right shot on the left side because where his stick is, obviously, when you're a right shot, you hold the top of your stick with your left hand. Right? And he felt if you're turning towards the left side with your hands already there, he feels that, can be a little bit better. But obviously there's other situations where maybe it's, there's challenges. So he says, hey, wherever you got to play, you just got to play. You don't think about that. Well, guys have played left, guys have played right. The Oilers just got to play better, right? They got to play consistent, play within themselves. Lots of things that they got to do. And you know what? You get a win and then you see where it goes from there. I think that's the whole mindset the Oilers have to take. It's the proverbial, and it is a cliche because it's true. You can't win the series by worrying about winning the series. You just got to win one game. Get a game, get some positive confidence. The home crowd is obviously going to be electric and loud tonight in Edmonton, and they'll go from there. So, the Oilers, obviously, they need a win. This is this is a very similar situation to what you saw in the Stanley Cup final last year. The Edmonton came home, they're down 2-0. And you know what? They didn't get the win in game 3, but then they did in game 4. They got it in game 5. They got it in game 6. You know what happened. They, hey, if you ask the Oilers today, you know what? Whatever's going to happen, we'll keep it in game 7. They'd take it all day. So would you. So the Oilers just find a way. Stop. To me, number one focus tonight, stop gift goals. You can't give the LA Kings ample time in the slot with no one around you. I'm sorry. If you continually do that, it doesn't matter who the goalie is. Did you see what happened last night in Winnipeg? Even Connor Halley. It can happen. He got pulled. So 2 out of 3 games for him. Not ideal numbers. He's the best goalie in the league. Like, today's shooters can pick corners if they have time and space consistently better than a lot of the past, I think. So the Oilers, they got to play better. I would expect them to play better. And once you win, then who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Lots of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll get to those. In the NHL, of course, you have the Oilers as one of the games tonight. You got Washington in Montreal. They're down 2-0. You got New Jersey at home. They're down 2-0. And, of course, so all the home teams tonight, Washington, New Jersey, and Edmonton, all just trying to get off the schneid and get their first win of the series. Last night, the Ottawa Senators dropped their 3rd consecutive game. They're in a boatload of trouble as they are down 3-0 in that series. The St. Louis Blues, hey, they got back in it for a game. Big win, 7-2 over the Jets. Yeah, the Panthers take a 2-0 lead. So that's 6 out of 8 series so far in the first round have started 2-0 for one team. And home teams, the Lightning lost both at home. They're the only one. The other 5 were all teams who started on the road. Senators, Blues, Canadians, Devils, and the Oilers. So the Lightning, I guess theoretically, maybe in the worst case, although Ottawa is now 0-3, so they're definitely in the worst situation. And hey, what about the Minnesota Wild? Another big win. And right now, Vegas doesn't have an answer for Kaprizov and Boldy. Those two are playing great. And the top line in Vegas is over. They got no points in 3 games. Right? You can't win consistently if your top guys don't produce. You can't win consistently if your special teams are getting crushed. You can't win consistently if your goaltending is below average. It's just how it works. Right? Like, there's no magical form. You could get away with the bad game here or there from one of those. Sure. Can't be consistent. And so Vegas down 2-1. They're going to have to look to get Eichel and Stone going. Because right now, not only are they not scoring, they're getting scored on. So it's a brutal combination. Sometimes maybe you can get away with it if your top line is breaking even. Obviously, you need depth and you need other guys to go in. But when your top guys aren't scoring and they're getting outscored, it's lights out. So Shea Theodore, -6. Brayden McNabb, -5. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, -5. It's a bad combination. I tell you, it's a bad combination. And hey, Oilers fans know the same thing, right? Edmonton's combination has been their penalty kill and power play is what's killing them, right? Like the Oilers, despite being outscored, what have they been outscored? 12-7 in the series, right? Like Darnell Nurse is -2. You got a few guys -1, lots of guys 0. And in fact, Corey Perry's +4 for the Edmonton Oilers. Now that comes really from that game 1 in the 3rd period, but where the Oilers have lost think about it. They've been outscored by 5 goals. All the 5 goals have come on the power play, and they have none. It's a big fact. And then look at the goals that they've scored. Go through every Oiler goal that they've scored 5-on-5. Look how hard they've had to work for their goals. And then look at the LA Kings goals. Deneau wide open, Kemper wide open, Kempe wide open twice. Like, not good, man. Not good. You can't continually gift those goals. Byfield. So there's 4 right there. Like, those were easy opportunities with boatloads of time. And then compared to the Oilers, the only guy who had a little bit of time was Corey Perry when he probably got away with the cross check on Emerson, who was maybe going down, so maybe not, Edmondson. And that's the only one, right? Connor McDavid had to make a great play. You know, when he made a great pass to Leon Draisaitl. John Klingberg had to make a great pass to Leon Draisaitl, right? Nice deflection. Arvidsson, hardworking for his goal. Janmark, Trent Frederick had 2 massive banging away rebounds. 3rd one finally went in. The Oilers have had to work for their goals. So if they can eliminate Santa Claus, I think they got a decent chance to win. And then you got to figure out something on special teams. I think everybody listening would agree. Like, they got to get a pulse going on the power play and their penalty kill. I talked to Craig McTavish today because I was at the Alzheimer's luncheon. And obviously, was a head coach for a long time. He just looks, their penalty kill is out of sync, right? One guy's going, the other guy isn't going. If you're not in sync, you'll get murdered. And so they got to find a way to get their penalty killers in sync. And I think all of us watching would agree with that. Coming up on the show today, it's a loaded program. Jeff Marek will join us in hour number 1. We got Daryl Evans joining us from the Kings side, Craig Button, Speck, Al Mitchell. We're going to look to get talk a little hoops. NFL draft went last night. Connor Halley back at Sports 1440 headquarters. Anything jump out at you at the draft?
Yeah, I mean, Jason Strudwick's New York Giants trading back into the first round to take Jackson Dart. I can think back to just a couple of months ago where we thought, yeah, he might be a great day 2 pick, someone you can maybe use as a project, which I think he will still be, but the New York Giants clearly liked him enough to get back into the first and draft him. The Jacksonville Jaguars trading up, grabbing Travis Hunter. I'm sure he's liking that a little bit more than going to the Cleveland Browns organization, albeit two franchises that have had a lot of trouble, but those two for sure would be the big ones. And then I guess Shedeur Sanders as well. I personally wasn't as high on him as some of the other people out there, but to see him slide all the way to what we think probably second round, a bit of a shock. I thought somebody might trade back in to try to grab him late in the first and give themselves that 5th-year option in his contract, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah, so it'll go tonight. Yeah, what do you make of that? Like, I see some people, they're trying to send a message. Like, I don't really believe that teams are, like, what are we talking about here? Sending a message. Teams are just like, you know what? I didn't think he was a first rounder. End discussion. Not every player is a first round player, despite, what some of the analysts think, and despite what, your last name is. It's irrelevant. That at this point, the teams who feel, hey, we didn't think he was a first rounder for a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, what message are you sending? We don't trust our grades? Like, if you have him as a first-round talent, go get him. I think as a second-rounder, to me, I'd be more than comfortable taking him in the second round. I wouldn't want to waste a first-round pick on him myself. But, yeah, I don't think there was any message sending anything like that. I think it's just that when it comes to the quarterback play, there's still some questions around him. And, teams didn't feel confident putting that first-round investment on him.
Who do you think takes him today?
I got a feeling he's going to go to Cleveland. They got the picks in the first or second round here early on. I think they'll get their guy and a bit of a guy to sit back there and have as an option, develop hopefully properly. Hopefully they don't rush him into the lineup or anything like that. But I think he's going to end up in Cleveland, which maybe not where he wants to be.
Boo-hoo, man. To get drafted, you want to be in the NFL, don't you? Like,
it's a privilege.
Yeah. So we'll see. Although, Cleveland maybe doesn't have the best recent history when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. Also last night in the NBA, in the association, the NBA playoffs continue, and whoo, baby. Hey, the team I'm watching, the team that I'm cheering for the most this year, without question, is OKC. I've loved Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the last few years, and man, I'm on that train. What a comeback! They were down by 29 late in the first half. They ended up getting down by 26 at the half. Now, obviously, they got a little bit lucky. Injury to Durant in Memphis, that was a huge one. But you know what? You got to take care of it when you get a break, and they did. And they stormed all the way back, outscored them 61-31 in the second half to win by 6. So that's crazy. So big win for them. Meanwhile, the Clippers absolutely demolished Denver, 117-83. Woo. And the Clip now lead that series 2-1. Association tonight, Orlando hosts Boston, Milwaukee's hosting the Pacers, and LA is on the road taking on Minnesota. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I'll have to disagree with your statement that the Oilers can't leave players open in the slot, because not only can they do it a lot from Hacksaw. Touche, Hacksaw. Touche. You're right. I should have added more words to that. The Oilers can't continue to leave guys wide open in the slot. It's true. Words matter, and that is one where, yes, you are right. They can. They just can't continue to do it if they want to win. Hey, guys, number one thing tonight is they have to come out the plus side on special teams. Well, that would help, at bare minimum break even, right? I think, start with some progress, because right now, both games, it hasn't been close, right? -2, -3. in both the games. You're not. It's hard to win when you're that bad on special teams. So the Oilers got to find a way to, I think, at minimum, break even. The other thing I think that's hugely important tonight, doesn't guarantee you success and it doesn't guarantee you a loss if you don't get it. But man, scoring the first goal, get the building in your favor even more. You know the fans are going to be ready to go bananas, right? It's going to be loud because, hey, the playoff fans know what's going on here. Everybody can see that their team's down too. So they're going to try to give them as much. The only thing the fans can do is cheer loud, right? That's all you can do. You have no impact on passing, execution, none of it. So you try to add a little energy as the seventh person to help out. So, and the other thing, break the trend. Don't take the first penalty of the game in the first 7 minutes because that's led to you being down 1-0 both times. So that's another big one. We'll come back. Jeff Marek will join us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live at OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th, your place to watch the playoffs.
I take possession of my commercial space in 3 months. I need lighting. I need a fire alarm. I need data. I need a generator. I need panels.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Projects team reporting. We design, build, and construct all the electrical systems for your projects. Need everything to work right? Get the Action Electrical project team on your site.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
This is a slam dunk. Dive into Edmonton's vibrant basketball scene with exclusive interviews and expert analysis. I'm Paul Sir, and I host The Basketball Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with the tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Centre's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific. Are you an HVAC or refrigeration company stressed about meeting your customers' temporary refrigeration needs? No need to worry. The solution is easy. Think Easy Chill Rentals. For repair, maintenance, or even special events, Easy Chill Rentals guarantees you a no-hassle, short or long-term solution for your refrigeration needs. Easy Chill provides mobile walk-in coolers and freezers to customers all over Western Canada. For sales and rentals, don't sweat it, just chill. With Easy Chill Rentals. Visit easychillrentals.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Garage Superstore, by Premier Built Garage, the ultimate destination for everything garage, storage solutions, cabinets, vehicle hoists, accessories, and even Traeger grills. Visit our massive 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th Ave, or online at garagesuperstore.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. How you doing? Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, thanks for listening and watching the Gregor Show, presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca. And ooh, it's Positive Friday. Maybe you're feeling a little positive. Go to PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, you can put some shekels down on the orders, but also $60 million up for grabs in Lotto Max and 1 million, max million. So get in, get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca, and hey, get your table OTR tonight. It's Friday, man. You got to blow off some steam. You've been waiting, you've been raring to go. Well, tonight you want to get together. It's going to be rocking. And imagine a Friday night in Edmonton after an Oilers win. Woo. Somebody's falling left tonight, right here at On the Rocks, guaranteed if that happens. Book it. Now, let's talk a little hockey as we get to the Around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And McDonald's just wanted to say that they are hoping that, of course, they had the McDavid location in Edmonton. At that location, every other's cheering for a win tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. As we welcome in host of the sheet at dailyfaceoff.com, Jeff Marek joins us. Jeffrey, how you doing?
Okay, I know it's Positive Friday, but can I be sour about something, Jason, to kick off this conversation?
Oh, 100%, sure. What's got you on the negative side?
I'm pissed off at Maple Leafs fans.
Oh,
why? Actually live it. So I'm driving back from Ottawa right now. Actually, I'm driving from Ottawa to Niagara. My son's in a hockey tournament, so I'm making the 5.5-hour drive.
Wow.
But so the Maple Leafs fans robbed hockey of one of my favorite things about overtime in the playoffs. Now, Tyler Seguin and the Dallas Stars got the assignment, and Dallas Stars fans did as well.
Yeah.
Yesterday at the Canadian Tire Center, and I thought it would be more, so good on Ottawa Senators fans for keeping Maple Leafs fans out of the building. Like, I thought it was going to be like, we were here like, it's going to be 60-40. I thought, oh my God, 60-40, that would be crazy. It was more like 80-20. 80% Senators fans, and then a sort of healthy 20% Maple Leafs fans yesterday. So it gets into overtime, not even 2 minutes in, and the new Corey Cross scores. Simon Benoit scores to end it. And because there's so many Maple Leafs fans in the building, they all get up and they all cheer, and they're pretty loud all at the same time. And Jason, it robbed us of one of the best things about playoff hockey, and that is when the road team scores in overtime. One of my favorite things is how deathly quiet the rink gets, and all you can hear are the players celebrating. Like, that's what happened when Seguin scored at Ball Arena the other day. The Dallas Stars go up 2-1. But yesterday, that great moment of, like, and you know what it's like. You've been in rinks like this before, when the home team gets scored on, and right away, stunned silence. And you could hear every word from every player. It's a lot of like, oh, F yeah, effing right, bud, like all of that on the ice. To me, it's one of the great things about playoff OT, but because there were so many Leafs fans in the building, the whole thing got ruined. But that's what I'm cranky about today. I got ripped off, Jason. I got ripped off.
Yeah, but you might have got ripped off with that. You also, though, got the great part of overtime, the unexpected, unheralded overtime hero. And it's Mr. Benoit for Toronto, who had an assist on the other overtime game. Like, what the hell's going on in Toronto?
Oh, listen, like right now they're talking about him. Like all of a sudden he's like the new Bobby Orr. Like, should we change number 2 to number 4 on the back of his sweater? Lucky shot, screen, absolutely all of it. The Domi goal was actually, I mean, that was all him. That was Simon Benoit with the rush. That was him with the drop pass. And more importantly, that's one of the best jumping screens we've ever seen. Like, I feel bad for Allmark on that one. He doesn't have a prayer. Simon Benoit is jumping in front of him. Like that whole, like the last 2 games, he's been part of the signature plays. And the other thing about Benoit, and I know when we think of that name this year, we're going to think of that great picture of him with the Superman punch on Michael Kesselring in that game against Utah. But he's a better, like when you watch him live, he's a better skater than you think. Like, I know Kevin Bieksa is saying like he's the best 6th defenseman in the NHL. And I know what Bieksa is trying to get across when he says that. He's a better skater than people give him credit for. He really is. Like, he gets the position quickly. Like, personally, I don't think that there's a defenseman in the NHL that gets back to position as fast as someone like Ryan McDonough. Like, to me, that's Ryan McDonough's, like, that's his super skill. That's his superpower. He gets back to position fast. But I'll tell you, like, Simon Benoit's feet are a lot faster than people give him credit for. He's not that he's like going to be a top 4 defenseman anytime soon, but if he's on your bottom pair, you're doing all right. And you're wondering to yourself, what was Anaheim thinking letting go of this guy?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We could do a whole list of teams that, you know, guys, for some reason, they don't look ready in 1 year because they're maybe not ready, but that doesn't mean they won't be ready. And he's turned out, you know, he's been a good find for the Maple Leafs for sure. The Edmonton Oilers tonight. It's not a must win technically, but I would argue that it is if you want to come back and win the series. Like, at least your odds are better at down 2-0 than they are down 3-0. That's for sure. So it's simple math for me. You got the home crowd. They're changing their goalie, and that could fix one problem they've had in the first 2 games. But they got 3 other big problems. They got to fix their lack. They got to reduce their ability to be Santa Claus and gift great chances, like not just good chances, great chances. And then they got to find a way at bare minimum to break even on the penalty kill and the power play. Like, their special teams are crushing them.
100%. And someone whose last name isn't McDavid and at times Draisaitl has to do something here. Like, this is like Connor McDavid trying to will this team into competitive games. But the good thing for the Oilers, and you know this, you're right there to see all of it. The Oilers do better when Calvin Pickard comes on in these situations, right? Like, we've seen this movie before, haven't we, Jason? That all of a sudden they play a little bit differently when they know they're getting saved. And I know the goaltending, you know, in this iteration of the Edmonton Oilers, this has been an issue, you know, going back a number of years here. But hopefully for Edmonton's sake here, we can see what happened the last time that Pickard had to come on in relief. And the Oilers play like they just maybe it's just an optical illusion to me. You're closer to it, but it just seems as if Edmonton does play different and Edmonton does play better when it's the in case of emergency break glass moments and Pickard goes in.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see. You know, Pickard came in for a few games last year and you know, won 1, lost 1. And then they went back to Skinner. You know, I don't know if that'll happen again this year. We'll see how he plays. And because like, hey, can Stu Skinner play better? 100%, right? Does he have to play better if they want to? Oh no, it's hey, dude. I've been arguing that. Trust me. There's people that are like, oh, just the goalie. You know, they blame everything on the goalie. I'm like, dude, the amount of gift goal. Like, last game specifically, it was stunning. The goals the chances they gave up.
And you know what's the one thing that we looked at with this blue line, Now he said, like, I always wonder, what's the one person on each team that you can't afford to lose? It's bizarre, but you can make the point that, even if you don't have McDavid, you've got Draisaitl. The most unique defenseman on this team is Mattias Ekholm. It's almost as if that's the one player you can't play at a diminished capacity or zero capacity. I really, again, he's like that. Everyone who has him on the team just knows how good he is. And the rest of the league can sometimes be oblivious. That's like that to me. I don't want to say it's a bridge too far, but man, you're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball when he's not at service.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it hurts them for sure. But I just look at Dallas. That's an excuse. Dallas has no Heiskanen and no Robertson, and I would argue that maybe playing a better team in Colorado, and they're up 2-1. So you know what? Yeah, injuries suck. But to me, it's not an excuse to just gift. Like, if you don't have Ekholm, then see, guys, we got to be even more committed as a group to be good defensively. Not like, oh, let's just gift goals away because he's not here. That to me is the mind-blowing part of, like, some of their giveaways are just like horrific. We're talking 3 strides. I don't ever name an Oiler goal where a guy had nobody around him. Like Corey Perry, maybe after he got Edmonton out of the way. That's it. Right. And it was a bang, bang play. It wasn't guys skating in 3-4 strides to pick your spot.
Yeah. The point about Heiskanen is a great one. The point about Dallas is a great point too. I will say this though, Thomas Harley, when you look at sort of skill overlap, like there are things that Heiskanen can do that the only other person on that blue line, being Thomas Harley, he's the only guy on that blue line that can do Heiskanen things. And if there's a more improved player or someone that's really distinguished themselves in the back end this year, more so than Thomas Harley, maybe Jake Sanderson. Harley is like super legit. We all saw at the Four Nations, pencil him in, not pencil, put him in 10 for next year's Olympic squad. But the thing about Ekholm is, like, nobody else comes close to doing that on the Oilers blue line. Like, all of it, like quietly, like shot suppression, all of it, easy exits, all of it. Anyway, but your point is well made about you can't come up with excuses because injuries everybody has to deal with. All I'm saying is the assignment becomes that much more tougher when you don't have someone like Ekholm available for service. But you're right, injuries, that's a reality that everyone's got to deal with.
Jeff Marek joins us here on Sports 1440. The Oilers, hey, like their defense, it was interesting. Knobloch at the morning skate, he had Klingberg with Bouchard and Nurse with Emberson and Kulak with Wallman. And then he said, don't read too much into it. Do you believe him? Because he's historically not a coach who does that.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't like, you're 100% right. I'll tell you what, like I really thought, and again, we're only a couple of games in here. Going into this one, what Connor McDavid was gonna do, and Connor McDavid is, as we mentioned, like grab everyone on the back, especially in the third period. Oh my God, it's Connor McDavid. I really did think that Jake Wallman, and again, still may happen, was going to have more of an impact and almost have like a coming out party here in these playoffs. Like, everybody knows how good this guy is and can be. I was really surprised so far. I have been surprised so far that we haven't seen more out of Jake Wallman. Maybe I'm biased. I really like the player. I'm still scratching my head about the Detroit trade. I think we all are. I still think that was one of the best moves that was made this season was the Oilers picking him up. And I wouldn't be surprised if Knobloch is saying, like, don't read too much into this year. I wonder if the player that you're thinking of here is, are they going to try to do more with Jake Wallman?
Yeah, potentially. Wallman, to me, he's got to play a little bit better. I didn't love his play on the first goal. It was, he just let Fogle just go right down the wall, and I definitely didn't like his play on the penalty kill where he had the guy, he had his stick in the lane, turns around to cross check a guy for no reason because the play isn't coming to him, and it leaves the cross seam pass, wide open. And so he's got to be better there. But I agree. He looked better, his mobility, and I'll say this, like, I spoke to John Klingberg today, and Klingberg's best game as an Oiler came in game 1 after being out. Like and I asked him, and he says he's feeling better. The best part of his game is when he can move fluidly side to side and not think about it. Whereas before, he said after this injury, he's always worrying, like, can I use this edge? Am I going to do it? And he said that game was kind of the first one where he just played without thinking.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know how you feel about that type of surgery, but by and large, and this is where even I'll credit Tyler Seguin, even at his age for coming back from it, or Brad Marchand, who came back from it relatively quickly, considering the age. I don't know about you, Jason, but whenever I hear someone having hip surgery, I always say to myself, scratch the next year. It's like a mulligan year, because you're just getting to learn your body all over again and do all those things, Jason, you're just mentioning. I'm not sure about this edge. I'm not sure about this lean. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get enough push. I'm getting enough power from this push for this rush. And you know what it's like in the NHL. The minute you start doubting that, it's kind of like players who, when they first start to say the word retirement, part of them retires. When you're doubting yourself like that, you only have that split second to make a decision. And you can only skate freely once you don't worry about things like your power or your edges. And that's why, anything to do with the hips, I always say, give it a year. Almost don't expect anything from a player, or just expect that player to be a shell of themselves after having surgery like that.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. Jeff, a few other things. St. Louis last night, huge game at home. You believe, or is it a one-off? And that's 2 out of 3 games. If you're just looking at save percentage, wasn't always the best number, but and then Hellebuck, is he vulnerable?
That's the question, right? And we saw a great performance out of Bennington. I'll tell you, I think everyone is waiting for that story to emerge. Honestly, and not to make everything about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but if they lose on Saturday and then lose in Game 5, all of a sudden it's like, all right, here we go again. And it's almost if we were waiting for that moment for Connor Hellebuck to look normal or have an off night to say, okay, here we go again. You know what it was like, Jason? It was like that first period of the first game of this series, where I don't know about you, but I was one of those guys saying at the end of that 20 minutes, here we go again. But the one thing that I'll always come back to with this Jets team is, and sometimes it's not going to be there and you're going to have those games. And that's why I tend to think that this is just that's their one clunker in this series. I didn't expect them to sweep the St. Louis Blues. I don't know that there's a team in the NHL. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's a team in the NHL that sticks to their structure better than the Winnipeg Jets. And it's unwavering, just unwavering. They play such I think that Scott Arniel, I know we're giving the coach of the year to Spencer Carberry, and well deserved. I think Marty St. Louis should get some consideration there too. But what Scott Arniel has done with the Winnipeg Jets, sure, there's some great individual plays here and there, and Kyle Connor is tops of that list. But I don't know a team that is able to stick to their structure through every situation better than the Winnipeg Jets. And just for whatever reason yesterday, it just wasn't happening. And I think that it's a team that's mature enough and has gone through enough to say, you know what, put that one in the rearview mirror, crumple that piece of paper up, throw it in the garbage. That's going to be our clunker. Game 4 is on the horizon. That's the impression that I get. But yeah, you're about Hellebuck. Considering the history, I think we're going to start to fire up did he play too many games in the regular season machine and start to get that conversation going again.
Yeah. And you know what? It's where small sample size numbers. You look at Hellebuck, his last 13 playoff games, he has an .872 save percentage and a 4.11 goals against average, which is yikes, right? And so you wonder, is it mental for him? Because all the other numbers, all the other games in between and around them doesn't matter. 60 games, terrible 4 games. Great 60 games, terrible 5 games. Great 60 games, bad 3 games. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It really is. Well, I'll tell you what, as we talked about, Stuart Skinner a couple of seconds ago, one of the questions going into this thing, and we all know the difference between regular season hockey and playoff hockey. What's one of the conversations we had about the Winnipeg Jets that they tried to address by bringing in Luke Schenn? Is this defense big enough? Is this defense going to be big enough to withstand what you're going to get in the playoffs? And are there room for small defensemen? Of course, there's room for smaller defensemen. But just like we saw Lane Hudson get burned on that Alexander Ovechkin overtime winner the other day, that probably doesn't happen with a bigger defenseman. Ovechkin's not getting to that spot as quickly as he did if it's a bigger defenseman on it. The question is the Winnipeg Jets defense is what in front of Connor Halley here? Are they big enough to play big in the postseason? All the successful teams, they're big, they're mobile, they can move the puck goes in, puck comes out, and they can all defend. Like the one consistency through all these teams that win Stanley Cups, what do they all have in common? They can defend. Are the Winnipeg Jets here? To me, the question is not Connor Halley. The question is Winnipeg's blue line big enough to consistently defend against any opponent that you're going to face here in the Western Conference? And I don't think we have the answer yet.
It'll be interesting to me to watch. Can the Blues come back? Now, Jeff, I'll ask you a question. So 2022, 7 series, a team started 2-0, and once did a team come back to win. That was the Rangers over the Hurricanes. 2023, 7 series, started 2-0. One team came back to win. 2024, 6 series, started 2 down, and one team came back to win, and that was last year, Dallas versus Vegas. This season already, we've had 6 series start 2-0. Now, one of them is 3-0 in Ottawa, one's 2-1 in St. Louis, and then you've got Tampa, Montreal, New Jersey, and Edmonton. You got to pick one out of the 6. Who do you give the best chance to come back, and why?
I'll give it to the Tampa Bay Lightning. I've always maintained it's the fool that bets against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And a lot of that, I'm saying, is because of the nature. We don't know what the nature of this is, the health of Alexander Barkov. And we talk about players that you can't take out of your lineup. And listen, Paul Maurice was very, very coy about the injury, not ruling him out, but hasn't been cleared to return. I can't remember exactly how Maurice phrased it, but it's very, very, we're waiting to see what the suspension is before we reveal the injury. I still say that there's enough horses here with the Tampa Bay Lightning and enough experience and enough elite play. If I'm going to pick one team that I'm more confident than any others, it's probably the Tampa Bay Lightning. But daunting task because, man, the Florida Panthers, I was telling the story the other day on the show that Marty McSorley told me about Dave Semenko, where Semenko, when Marty showed up in Edmonton, every game he'd want to fight, and Dave would always say, no, Marty, we're not doing this every night. We're not doing it every night. This went on for a few games, and Marty said, finally, I came to the rink, and there was Dave taping up his wrists, and Marty said, what are you doing, Dave? And he goes, Marty, every now and then we must remind them, and tonight we will remind them. And I think that, every now and then the Florida Panthers remind us just why they're the Stanley Cup champion. I think we saw that in the first 2 games against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right, so you're going with Tampa. We will see. Jeffrey, have a safe trip. Have a safe drive. Enjoy the game, and we'll chat with you next week.
Tonight should be a fascinating one. I'm with you. Like, this is technically it's not a must-win game for the Oilers, but I will be glued to the television tonight in Niagara watching this.
Yeah. No, it's pretty much a must-win game for the Edmonton Oilers. I know it's not mathematically that, but it sure seems like that. Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Have a great day.
Thanks, Jason.
That's Jeff Marek from the sheet at dailyfaceoff.com. So here are the numbers for Hellebuyck. And like it's wild. So his from 23 to 25, he had 187 games in the regular season, a .922 save percentage, and a 2.29 goals against. Like stellar, Essen League. 23 to 25 playoffs, only 13 games, 844 save percentage, and a 4.11 goals against average. Like man, that the goalie position is without question the most volatile, unpredictable, and a lot of it based on the environment in front of the goalie. Because I can't believe that for 60 games, he can be that great and then be bad for 5, then great again for 60, bad for 5, great again for 60, and bad for 3. Like you can't just do good and then just tail off. Right? Like now, maybe it's mental a little bit for him, but you do wonder, like the playoffs are different, man. Playoff hockey is definitely different, even for the best goalie or supposedly one of the best goalies in the NHL. It's crazy. Quick break. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch and more when we return. It's the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The locks are on a timer. They're going to get out.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Service team reporting. With the remarkable reach of our bucket trucks and other equipment, we assess, service, and maintain your electrical lighting and automation systems.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
New Jizz Nuggets. This is New Jizz Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of heating and cooling advice does Nuge have today?
You can save a lot of money by bundling your new furnace and AC with Legacy. It's kind of like saving money on an endorsement by bundling me, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, with someone like, Zachary Martin Hyman. Thanks for suggesting me, Nuge.
Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC and furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of New Jizz Nuggets.
Playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker, and join us for the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Cross Mitsubishi on 34th Ave and 96th Street.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
At Vision Credit Union, we've been around a long time. In fact, we've been serving rural Alberta communities for 75 years. We launched in 1950 with $128, 21 members, and a mission to help our communities. It's still our mission today. That's why we return 75% of Vision's profits to members, offer full-service banking in underserved rural communities, and prioritize contributing to charitable causes in our hometowns. We're here for good. VisionCU.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers score and win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave and 118th.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Positive Friday, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Hey, it's Positive Friday coming up in just over an hour's time. Your chance to qualify to win a $15,000 solar system courtesy of Action Electrical. And it is Positive Friday. So text in why you're positive the Oilers will win tonight. What are your reasons? What's going to change? Is it the crowd? Is the atmosphere? Is Pickard going to stand on his head? Are the Oilers going to play sound defense? Is their power play going to have a pulse? Is their penalty kill going to figure out a way to limit the damage? Maybe they'll stay out of the box, right? Right now, the Oilers have averaged the most penalties per game at 5. So lots of areas to improve. I guess you can look at it. That's a positive. But there's lots of areas to improve. So we'll see what happens. A lot of text line in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, last year, home game 1, Oilers got up to a 4-0 lead, sucked the life out of the game. We need to do that again. The Henrik, McDavid, Hyman line was pretty good, just saying, from KM. Well, Hyman will be back with McDavid tonight. If you missed it, wow, maybe we shouldn't read too much into the line combinations, although, that was a unique comment from the head coach, because that's not really, what he does. He normally, what you see in the morning skate is what you see in the game. And so, Klingberg and Bouchard together, which, let's be honest, it's a little surprising. I don't debate that. Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, Wallman. Up front, he had Draisaitl, McDavid with Hyman, Nugent Hopkins with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, Henrique with Brown and Kane, and then Janmark with Frederick and Perry. And now, speaking of Trent Frederick, so I spoke to Trent Frederick today, and he said, you know what, his ankle, he didn't re-injure it or anything the last game. It's just he's got, because he's got the high ankle sprain, he's got a lot of tape on his boot. And anybody, think about your ankle flexion and how important that is when you skate. And he says it's taken him a while to kind of get used to it. He has to adjust certain things. He actually said he felt better as the game went on, so he viewed that as a positive. But obviously he's not 100%. I think everybody knows that, but feels he can contribute, and was happy that it's, as the game goes on, he feels better. So we'll see what happens. So him and Perry and Janmark looking to maybe stir some stuff up tonight. Get go, because the crowd is just going to be frothing at the mouth tonight. I know Oiler fans, and the ones who are going to the game, heck, the ones who wish they were going to the game. They were there. They'll be on their feet early. There'll be lots of chanting. The Kemper chant's probably going to come out super early in the game. Go Oilers, go, whatever it is, it's going to be loud. It's going to be very loud. And you know what? You saw the King players talk about it. We've seen other teams. That's where home ice advantage can help you. Obviously, the dimensions of the rink are the same. It's not like teams play drastically different, but there's just that emotional boost. And the Oilers fans, they're going to come with it tonight. And, nobody thought the Oilers would be down 0-2 in Edmonton. Maybe some in LA did, but not many people in Edmonton thought the Oilers were going to be down 0-2. And really, for 5 of 6 periods, have not been close to being equal to the LA Kings. Right? They've had one good period so far in the series. One. And they got to be better. So, hey, boys, Pickard brings us greater sense of composure, which would give the boys up front more confidence. Let's go Oil. Well, Richie, that's Richie's positive text. We'll see. Hey, guys, tonight's Oilers get under their skin, draw some calls, and the power play starts to click. Early goal from the Draisaitl McDavid line, and we split them up and keep the foot on the gas from Tristan. Boys, I'm positive the Oilers will win because McDavid won't let an LA Kings team beat him from Lance. Boys, positive. The Oilers will win because every time they're up against it, they come up big. Connor will be locked in tonight. Oilers will only gift 1 goal tonight. positive from the Stair Farm. Well, hey, you know what, buddy? That would be big improvement, right? Because think about it. They had 2 in the first game, and I'd argue 3 in the second. So that's progress, right? So if you reduce the number of gift goals, then you reduce the number of quality chances your goalie has to save, which increases your goalie's chance of making more saves. It's a win, followed by another win, followed by another win. It definitely can help. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers are winning tonight because Bouchard's figured out that his next performance dictates what he's paid on his next contract. From Dave. You know, the Bouchard play is a fascinating one. Like, his offensive numbers were overall pretty good. Now, it is interesting, though. I do find that those who are big supporters of Bouchard, who used to rip Tyson Barrie for having secondary assists, they suddenly don't rip a guy, which I don't have a problem with, because I always thought it was dumb to rip Barrie because he, quote, got secondary assists, like starting a play is a negative. But when people want to dislike a player, they'll find anything. But then when they like the player, no, secondary assists matter because it's Bouchard. They don't matter when it's Barrie. Like, I find that funny. Hey, if you think secondary assists don't matter, then be consistent and say they don't matter to everybody. I'll disagree with you every time, because sometimes the secondary assist is more important than the first assist. But hey, there's no doubt Bouchard has to play better, and he's shown he's capable of it. Bouchard last year in the playoffs was great. Bouchard the year before in the playoffs I thought was pretty solid, but last year he was great in every facet of the game. Does he miss Ekholm? Yeah, probably. I think for sure he does. But a lot of his play last year wasn't just because of Ekholm. I think they complemented each other well. And right now, he's just got to get back to playing what he's capable of playing. Because when you play that level for as long as he did last year in the playoffs, to me, that shows you that's what you're capable of. Now, it's hard to always be there. I'm not saying he's got to be that great every night, but he has to be better than how he's played in the first 2 games. But hey, trust me. So let's go down the list. Goaltender, Skinner, could be better. Bouchard, better. Nurse, better. Kulak, better. Nugent Hopkins, better. Hyman, better. I would argue, McDavid and Draisaitl have to be better because they're 0 on the power play. They're your best players who run your power play, and your power play is 0. So even they could be better. Like, I don't know if there's not many guys in the team that you could look at and say, man, their performance has been great. So I guess that's a good thing in a way, because if everybody improves 2, 3, 4% collectively as a team, you get a lot better, right? Hey, Gregor, I'm going on a limb. Oilers are getting a shutout. Oof. Mark, the shutout people are hating you already. You mentioned the shutout at 2:58. It's going to impact the game. Okay? You can't do that. Some superstitious person will tell you can't do it. Hey, Gregs. I'm positive the Oilers will get a win, and I think Evander Kane will have more of an impact. I thought he got better as the game went on. From Dan, well, I imagine like 10 months, like you can have your emotion and adrenaline and all that stuff, but it's just like your timing. Like I thought it was the small details of the game where Kane struggled. And it might sound crazy. I noticed 4 passes that bounced off his stick, right? He went to receive the pass. And so I don't think that's going to continue. I think that's a little bit of just like, you're not like, you're in practice and guys are passing, but they're not firing lasers at you. That's like how you're used to in a regular season game, right? Like guys in the NHL, like they pass hard all the time. Now, except there's one where it's a little touch pass. You know what I mean? Right. But so you're not really getting that in practice. That's just the timing, all those sorts of things. And that was one thing I noticed with Kane was just the small little details of, so all of a sudden a guy's throwing you a 60-foot bomb because he has to, and it's a laser, right? You got to catch it. And I would guess tonight, just watch Kane. I think his stick, touch, stick softness, whatever you want to call it, will be a little bit better. And small little things that can help. Because if you get enough small details in your game, from goaltending to defensive play to penalty kill reads to power play execution to reducing the gifts, well, now you got a much better chance to win. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck Month continue on 2025 Sierra HD models. See more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day as the Edmonton Oilers looking to get back into their series against the Kings, trailing 2-0. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6. Calvin Pickard gets to start between the pipes. Elsewhere, you got the Canadiens and Caps meeting at 5. Patrick Laine, a game-time decision in that one. And the Devils host the Hurricanes. Devils trail that series 2-0. Ottawa's Nick Cousins have been fined just over $2,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA for unsportsmanlike conduct during last night's pregame warm-ups against Toronto. The incident occurred when Cousins shot a puck at Leafs goaltender Anthony Stolarz. The Sens were also fined $25,000. In the association, 3 games tonight. The Magic trailing 2-0, hosting the Celtics. That gets going at 5. At 6 o'clock, you got the Pacers looking to take a 3-0 series lead over the Bucks. Then at 7:30, Lakers Timberwolves. That series tied at a game apiece. In the majors, Jays kicking off a series against the Yankees out in New York. First pitch set for 5:05. Right now, Phillies Cubs in action. It is the bottom of the first. No runs in that one. Later on, Angels, Twins, Royals host the Astros, Brewers in St. Louis. You got the Marlins in Seattle. Padres hosting the Rays, Dodgers and Pirates, and the Giants taking on the Rangers. In the WHL, Conference Championships getting underway. You got the Tigers hosting the Hurricanes at 7, and then at 8 o'clock, the Chiefs up against the Winterhawks. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning and be joined by former NHL or current Kings analyst Daryl Evans. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah! Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I love being Canadian. Despite what's happening south of the border, we've never been more united in our country, and that's a good thing. Know what else I love? Great outdoors.
Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440. Oilers Nation YouTube, What a positive Friday. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports Tonight.
Created the RV, so you can spend more time in the great outdoors.
And the best RV is a used RV, right, Rick?
Every RV is a used RV, Bob. Unless it's still on the dealer's lot, it's used. All of the RVs at No Bull are used as well, which means they're already in Canada. Nobody can slap a
Our
tariff
title
on a
sponsor,
used RV.
PlayAlberta.ca.
If it's here and it's used, that means it's Canadian. No surprises, no worries, just the
1440
best
Oilers
outdoor
Nation YouTube,
experience
Facebook,
Canada has
and
to offer.
And that's no bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. Welcome back to the Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. $60 million tonight. Get in the draw at PlayAlberta.ca for Lotto Max. Also, looking for a little fun, little enjoyment, little excitement in your life? Come down to OTR on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, on 118th Street for tonight's game. You can call and make a reservation. They got a few spots left for resos. It's always best to ensure it. They always have some walk-in available. But if you're planning ahead, and I know many of you are, plan ahead. Call on the Rocks, get yourself a table, and away you go. It'll be jam-packed with fellow hockey fans. And imagine a Friday night in Edmonton when the Edmonton Oilers get a playoff victory. You've been there before on Saturdays, and the home games are just a little bit different. And because you got the game, then you got the outdoor watch party, that going on. I'm just maybe I'm making assumptions here, but I'm assuming it's going on, right?
Oh yeah, that's still going on.
Okay. The other thing that is different tonight. Hey, Gregor, were you at the morning skate? Is it true they have towels instead of pom-poms? Inquiring minds want to know. From Sal. Sal, yes, indeed. I noticed that there's I guess you got the orange rally towels now instead of the pom-poms. I guess you have to ask I can't answer that question if it matters for a season ticket holder. You got the pom-pom, yeah, or you got the towel wave. I don't know. The towel wave looks pretty good on TV, but and I don't really, obviously I watch the highlights, but the pom-poms have looked pretty good. I don't know. I can't pretend to have a strong opinion on either one. All I know is if the Oilers score, the towels will be in full effect. And if the Oilers win, people will be like, oh, I love the towels. I love the towels, right? Because when you win, everything's good. Right? That's like the Oilers could win 8-7 tonight. And be like, hey, I don't mind our goaltending because you won 8-7, right? Like when you win, that's all that matters in the playoffs. You can win ugly, you can win pretty, you can win stressfully. As long as you win, that's what matters for fans of the playoffs. At least it should, because there are games where you can dominate and lose. So would you rather dominate and lose or win, regardless of how it happens? We all know the answer. It's win, man. It is win. Hey, Greggs, can you explain why Arvidsson can't stay on the skates? Honestly, you know what, Mike? I can't. It is. It's an odd one. Like he battles hard, but you're right.
Get my
does.
computer ready in case he throws down.
I actually thought I thought in the honestly, and I don't know if it's just this year, but I'd never really noticed it before. Now, granted, wasn't watching Arvidsson on a nightly basis, but early in the year, I was just like, what is going on? Arvidsson down, like all the time. It's seemingly gotten better. But yes, there is whatever his on ice per 60 would be. Maybe I'll ask LT when he comes in later what it would be. So, but yeah, I don't have an answer. I don't know if something's up at the edges. It's, you know what? It's weird. But, hey, he's got a goal in the series, man. And you know what? He'll play with Nugent Hopkins and Podkolzin to start tonight. And, you know, they're going to need another one from them. Like, their bottom six, because last game, Arvidsson was really in the bottom six with Janmark. 2 games in a row, your bottom six has scored. That's normally a good thing for your offense because you expect your power play to chip in. And then you expect, like, if you look at 5-on-5 scoring, 5-on-5 scoring right now is your top 6 has 3 goals. Because keep in mind, the Oilers scored 2 goals with the extra attacker in game 1. So your top 6 has 3 goals. Your bottom 6 has 2 goals. It's good for your bottom 6. You're going to need more from your top 6, and especially your power. Because I'm not talking power play. You get your power play going, and away you go. Hey, Gregor, can you confirm that we'll have an xylophone as the anthem tonight? Could you imagine? Oh my God. Like, I don't even know, like, what's the opposite of a harmonica, Cons? Because, you know, what if you had like dueling musicians? You know, I'm sure they're going to have the anthem singer. You know, Robert Clark's likely going to be in the crowd. That's what they do. So I don't expect them to change it at all. But God, that would be unbelievable, right? Like, get people fired up a different way. Gregor, recorders are the opposite. Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably fair. From TJ, grade 1 recorders, yeah.
Are they the opposite though?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're still blowing into them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So what would, like, I don't know. I don't even know if you really could have an opposite, or like who's the competitor of the harmonica? Is it the kazoo? Right.
What about like an accordion or bagpipes? Because the harmonicas is a nice, gentle. Yeah, I guess sometimes you hear it in like jazz music or rock, but just something really out there. I'd go bagpipes.
Bagpipes, okay.
Yeah. Or vuvuzelas.
Oh, please, no. No, God, no. Those should be banned for life. Hey, Gregory, you can't tell me Stuart Skinner hasn't been a problem for Matica. What? Who said it? And this is the last time we're talking about it. I said all the people was like, Stuart Skinner's the only problem, right? Why has anybody go see online? Do people talk about the power play is stunk 0 for 5? The Oilers are losing this series on special teams. The LA Kings have 5 power play goals. The Oilers have 0. The Kings have scored 12 goals. The Oilers have scored 7. Right? Look at the penalty kill. The Oilers are 50%. Kings are 100%. Now go look, and you've all watched the games. How many easy goals have the Oilers had? How many? 0. Now, how many easy goals have the Kings had? 5. Okay? So all I said was Stuart Skinner is not the main problem through 2 games. Could he be better? Yes. But why all the vitriol for one guy? And by the way, the Oilers team is not built for Stuart Skinner to be the guy who carries their team. He's not paid like that guy. He's not that guy. He's not a top 15 goalie in the NHL. No one's ever expected him to be. So all the people who get their shorts in a knot asking Stuart Skinner to not be what he is doesn't make sense to me. Hey, let's just hammer on Stuart Skinner because I'm mad. Okay, great. Well, you can be mad, but doesn't mean you're right. And then you're, well, no, the penalty kill. Yeah, but you don't yell and scream and insult the power play. You don't yell and scream and insult the penalty kill. You don't say the penalty kill sucks, even though it is terrible. You don't say the power play sucks, even though it has for 2 games. You don't say the Oilers' defensive awareness does. It's all. Just go look at my mentions online. Right? So I can't help that people have an inability to comprehend things. Okay? I can't control how you determine, how you want to interpret what I say. I just said, if you want to blame Stuart Skinner, go right ahead. I think you're misinformed on this. Okay? Can Stuart Skinner play better? Yes, I've said it 1,000 freaking times, but people can't seem to listen to it because I don't yell and scream and want to insult the player because he's one player on a team that has played like junk and has had one good period where they were the better team. That's it. So that's okay. Get upset all you want. I laugh at the morons, and trust me, there's not many morons. There is 90, I would say 95% of Oilers fans are great. And I can disagree and debate with lots of people. right? The name calling immature little punks. Like, man, there's so many of them I'd love to meet face to face because trust me, they're gutless. 90% of them are gutless. How they talk to people online, they would never, because you know what's funny? I actually know who some of them are, and they've come up to me in public. Oh, you're right. And they totally the opposite. If you don't like me, great, don't pretend. Right? But trust me, there is nothing worse than people who just want to blame Skinner. And they want you to yell and insult the guy because they don't like him. I'll never do it. I never insult players personally. When a player can play better, hey, Stuart Skinner can play better, sure. But his level where he was at of playing better, none of the goals he allowed came close to the mistakes that the Oilers have made that led to those scoring chances. None of them. I've seen Stuart Skinner let in a bad goal that's a groaner, and you're like, oh my God, that's a terrible goal. None of the goals he let in were terrible. None. So you can't say he's played terrible. You can say he hasn't played great because he didn't make a few big saves. That's valid. But to say he's played terrible is moronic because none of the goals were terrible. None. Okay? None. You're just like, oh, it goes right through him. Right? What's terrible is when you have the puck and you're Arvidsson and you just fan on it and it leads right to a goal against. Not only a goal against, but a gifted chance for 15 feet. Terrible is Evan Bouchard behind the net, putting the puck right out in front to a guy wide open in the slot. Right? Terrible play. Doesn't mean they're terrible players. Terrible play. Was Darnell Nurse on the Byfield goal? A, got way too high above the puck. Then B, literally stopped. Can't do that. Right? We go down the list. So none of the goals allowed were terrible to me. So that's the difference. The power play has not scored, and they really haven't generated many good chances. The penalty kill is indecisive. They're not moving in rhythm at all. And then they make decisions to leave their sticks out of the crossing lanes, and they score. So that's the difference. Now, Pickard can come in here, and I hope Pickard plays great. But I'll tell you right now, if Calvin Pickard has to face 20 high-danger chances in the next two games, the Oilers' odds of winning are incredibly low. Full stop. You can only blame the goalie if you like, but you're missing everything else that's happened in front of him. That's just how it is. Guys, I actually would have started Skinner tonight from Trent. Whew, that would have been ballsy. There's two ways to look at when the coach pulled Skinner. He's pulling him to just say, hey, man, like, you're not the major issue here tonight. Or he was like, Calvin Pickard, we're going to go with him. Let's let him get some feel. And it's funny. I asked Calvin, hey, did you gain anything from those 9 minutes? He's like, no, it's only 9 minutes. And remember, the first shot, guess what? The goalie changed. And what happened when the goalie changed? Oh, that's right. He had to face a 5-bell scoring chance from the other team's hottest player who skated from center ice into the zone untouched. Different goalie, same result. Why? Because it's what happened. Look at Stuart Skinner is not a goalie I expect to save games. I don't believe that's who he is. No, he's not played like that. He's not evaluated like that. So why do you get mad if he's not that? If you want to get mad, say management, you got to rebuild your organization because you can't expect the Oilers to just go out and get a goalie that's going to be a difference maker. Is Hellebuck a difference maker? We think so, but then what happens to him in the playoffs? 3 years in a row, I should add. A team that, by the way, in the regular season, 2 years in a row, best defensive numbers in the regular season. But the playoffs are different, right? They're different. And even the best goalie in the NHL the last 3 years struggles if all of a sudden the environment in front of him breaks down. And Stuart Skinner isn't Hellebuck. No one's saying he is. Well, at least I don't know anybody who's comparing him. He's not. So if Hellebuck struggles, what do you expect from Skinner? Kevin Woodley outlined it yesterday. The Oilers, if they had average goaltending, they have an .872 save percentage because that's how bad they've been defensively as a team. So now watch tonight. Like, I can't fathom the Oilers playing worse defensively than they have for 2 games. I just can't fathom it. So, and some people say, they play better because of Pickard. Well, then your team is mentally fragile. If you believe that all of a sudden, because last year in the playoffs, the final 15 games, Stuart Skinner was in goal. He allowed 2 goals or less in 11 of 15 games. So you're telling me now that they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final, and Stuart Skinner didn't have a very consistent regular season? Totally fair. But how many Oilers did? Did the Oilers have? They were up and down. They had a stretch of 30 games. They were pretty good, and then it was up and down. Okay? Could Skinner be better in the regular season? Sure. No debate. But Zach, we can go down the list of other guys it could be too. So if your team has convinced themselves, oh, you know what? I don't have my goalie that I like, so now I'm going to sabotage him more by gifting the puck up continually. Like that doesn't jive. And if that's the case, then the Oilers are done. Because if you fully believe that now a mental reset, sure. And maybe it can be a mental reset for the whole team. The coach knows, right? The coach knows. But does the goalie have any faith? Like if you're Calvin Pickard and you look at how the penalty killers have played in front of him, they're not in unison. They're not fluid. Is he going to have confidence? Kevin Woodley's talked about it, right? Goalies in the past have talked about when they know where the shots are coming from, even if you got to go side to side, you got a better chance. Doesn't mean you'll always save it, but you got a little bit better chance. You don't expect your team, when they have the puck behind the net, to just throw it blindly out into the slot. You don't expect that for a goalie, right? You don't expect your team to give up the other team's chances with no one around them and reel right in, right? The Oilers' salary cap between Skinner and Pickard is $3.6 million. Why does anyone have these expectations that they should be the reason the Oilers win? And by the way, Skinner actually did that a few games last year. 3 games to be in fact, where he was their best player on the ice. How many other guys on the team can say that? McDavid, Draisaitl, anyone else? Bouchard probably had a few games last year like that. No one else. So people can, and I find it interesting, the same people that now are ripping, and trust me, it's not all of you. It's actually not even the majority. Most people are pretty sane. And they're like, hey, you know what? The rest of the team's got to play better. Stuart Skinner has to play better, and so does the rest of the team. His play is not infinitely lower or worse than the rest of the team. It hasn't been. Right? To the sane viewer, it hasn't been. And yet the same people that are ripping on Skinner will be the ones that turn around. The media is running people out of town. When these guys, go read some of the stuff that the gutless anonymous people post online. You got to be we should have a whole conversation, because trust me, it's sports fans, it's in politics too, but you're a sports fan and you feel it gives you the right to talk about another human or talk to a human that way. Calling them names, I always people think, hey, Gregor, does it bug you when people call you names? Trust me, I give 2 bleeps. Because you know what? And most of them comes from no names, right? They're anonymous. They're hiding behind something, which I feel sorry for someone, because how lacking in confidence are you that you have to be anonymous to voice your opinion? Why wouldn't you be confident and believe in yourself? Right. So number one thing I told my son, now he's way too young. And eventually I said, if you're ever on social media, you're going to be it yourself. Because now you're somewhat accountable and people know how you're going to act. It's easy to be a POS online when you're anonymous. It's pretty simple. Right? Very simple. And people do it. And Oilers fans right now, cheer for your team. Be disappointed all you want. But just remember, you can be somewhat of a human being in how you interact. Disagree with me all you want. I'm wrong lots. It doesn't bother me because it's an opinion. Hey, I like this player. I think Jeff Skinner is being a good signing. Didn't work out. Right? I thought Jeff Skinner would be better than he was. It didn't work out. All right. Okay. I hit on a lot of things. All right. I told people, hey, you might miss Cody Ceci and Vinny Desharnais more than you think. They don't do a lot of flashy stuff. And Natural Stat Trick, by the way, isn't the most accurate website. I politely try to tell people that. It isn't, and people will just go off of that and believe it like it's 100% truth. It isn't. And you know what? You know where they miss them? On the penalty kill. That's how it is. We'll take a break. We'll return on the Gregor Show. Daryl Evans will join us. Oof. He knows a thing or two about great comebacks. Of course, he scored the goal in the Miracle on Manchester back in 1982. And the Kings, they're feeling good about themselves. And can it continue? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
There's one. And another. No, not spring flowers yet, but rather huge deals. It's GMC's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick. Nab 0% financing up to 72 months on our most popular Sierra half-tons, or massive discounts starting at $8,000. Choose your truck from a great selection, like the fabulous all-new Canyon, right up to the trailer-hauling Sierra HD with the industry-leading Duramax diesel. Spring into Wolf GMC Buick today and snag your truck. And see the savings at wolfgmcbuick.com.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Now until April 30th, The Brick is saving you more. Save up to 60% off Canadian-made sofas when you buy the matching love cedar chair. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. And when you use your Flexity card, get equal monthly payments and 0% interest for 60 months on furniture and mattress purchases. Plus, you're automatically entered to win a $5,000 Brick shopping spree. And the more you buy, the more you save, up to an additional $1,200 off select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every playoff game for the Ridge Social Eatery postgame show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
328. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The Oilers and the LA Kings. First chance for Oiler fans to get loud, at least at the arena, anyway, for the playoffs tonight. And the Oilers, big change, of course. Calvin Pickard will start in goal tonight. Same defense, same forwards, but we could see some different lineups up front. Looks like Hyman, Draisaitl, McDavid skated together. Nugent Hopkins was back with Arvidsson and Podkolzin. You had Henrique with Kane and Brown. Janmark was centering Perry and Trent Frederick. Now, the D pairings in the morning were Bouchard and Klingberg, Nurse and Emberson, and Wallman and Kulak. Now, the coach said don't read anything into that. Okay, I guess I got to take him for his word, but I've never really seen him run morning skate pairings that were different that night, except when they had guys not playing down the stretch. So that's totally different, right? Like you'd have, sometimes they had a guy who didn't dress. Okay, that's different. But now Troy Stetcher was on the ice. So, but John Klingberg was one of their best defensemen last game. He ain't coming out. And I'm not sure that Stetcher's ready just yet, but he was skating to look good. So he's definitely close. He's going to be an option here, especially if the Oilers can get a win tonight and then guarantee the series at least minimum 5, and then we'll see where it goes. So those are some lineup. The Kings, not expecting any changes there. They have played very, very well. As we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Building owners, you can earn a refundable federal tax rebate up to 30% off solar projects capital cost. Learn more at actionelectrical.net. Longtime analyst for the LA Kings, one of the best dressers in the league, Daryl Evans, joins us. And Daryl, man, it has been it's been a glorious 2 games for the Kings. They obviously probably didn't like their third period in game 1, but other than that, they got to be pretty happy. The power play, and it wasn't like it was instant. It wasn't like Kuzmenko joined the team and suddenly the power play was great. He didn't have a point for the first 6 or 7 games, and then he got rolling. And then Hiller decided late in the, I think it was in April, I can't remember the date, but I think it was 5 games, and he said, okay, let's try this 5 forwards, and it's worked very well. What led to that decision? Have you talked to him, like, what was the ultimate deciding point to say, okay, let's try something that most teams don't want to do, and let's go 5 forwards?
Well, I think for a couple of games there, Drew Doughty, he didn't play, and so they were looking at different options. The minute, though, when Kuzmenko came on board, there was a different complexion to the power play, even with Doughty in the lineup and the Kings using four forwards and 1 defenseman. He's a puck possession type of guy. He was a player that the Kings have missed over the last, couple of years. Gabe Lardy used to have that bumper position, right-handed shot on the power play when the Kings had success. And then Victor Arvidsson, he was a right-handed shot. So he gave the Kings some different looks and options as well. So I think that's what Kuzmenko, that's the void that he filled there. And then when you bring his skill set into it, his ability to possess the puck and, get guys the puck in the right situation and his accuracy with passing, it's been pretty magical for the Kings. And the 5 forwards has worked. And, the old saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I'm sure that's what we're going to see again tonight.
Yeah. Well, you're right. It's not broken. Like it's Kuzmenko has definitely added something to that power play. And, they were looking for a shot with a team that had a lot of the guys who shot the same way, and he's come in and worked. But Daryl, you watch every game. Is there something specific that Kuzmenko has added to the power play to make it this good?
It's just his vision, the way he sees and thinks the game. He's got strong puck possession. He and Kevin Fiala are very similar in a lot of different ways, and I think they really complement each other on the man advantage. They work well off of each other, being one a left-handed shot, a right-handed shot. They open up. Kuzmenko goes down below the goal line and gives the Kings a different type of an attack, a different approach from down where the Kings were more working the puck from up high before. So I think it's his ability to be able to hang on to the puck and to be able to execute on passes. He's got a lot of confidence in his game, and there's a lot of trust in his teammates. They believe that, they get themselves to the right spot. He's going to get them the puck, and also he shoots the puck well too. He's got a great release on his shot. So he's just been he's posing a double threat with his ability to be able to pass and shoot. So he's really helped, boost the power play, and I think the numbers reflect it.
Looking at the Kings penalty kill, for 3 years the Oilers torched him in the postseason. And even when the Kings were great in the regular season, they'd have the second best penalty kill. Last year they came in Edmonton, the Oilers went 45%. Daryl, from your vantage point, and Connor McDavid talked about it a little bit today. He mentioned how we're not going to get, we can't kind of slow it down and wait. Sometimes it's 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 50 seconds. You're waiting to get a play. You're going to have to do it quickly. Obviously, the Kings have been more aggressive, but I don't think it's just say, well, now suddenly we're more aggressive, because you're like, well, you could have changed that a long time ago. Are there small nuances and differences you've seen in their penalty kill? Because the regular season numbers weren't any better than last year. They're close. It wasn't bad. But did they change it down the stretch, or have they changed it specifically for this matchup?
No, I think the big change was made last year in the offseason, and that was the acquisition of Darcy Kemper. Your goaltender's, always one of your best penalty killers, and I think that's been the case for the Kings. They have been a lot more aggressive, different personnel maybe from the previous years. We see the emergence of Quentin Byfield in so many different ways. Warren Fogel's been getting some penalty kill time. They've been able to spread those minutes out, allowing the Kings to be aggressive. So I think the experience that they've gained over the last couple of years is paying dividends right now. And, we all know that special teams on both sides, power play, penalty kill, they go in cycles. And right now they're both clicking at a pretty good rate.
Daryl Evans joins us, analyst for the Los Angeles Kings, as, of course, Game 3 goes tonight in Edmonton. I'm assuming, safe assumption on my part, Daryl. I didn't stick around for the Kings skate because I had to do a luncheon. Kings going with the same lineup?
That's what to be expected. I mean, there might be a subtle move or not, or you never know. Last game, they went with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. So there's always that option that might change it. But I think when you look at it's the same pieces, I don't think there's going to be any drastic changes. Just very similar to, like what the Oilers are doing. I think each coach, at this stage of the season, it's a chess match out there, and you try to get any type of edge you can get. And, we'll see what happens when it comes game time. That was kind of the message that the coach gave us today at the end of the scrum.
Yeah, they went with the 11-7, but they barely even played the defenseman, so it was basically 11-6, which is an interesting decision. So I don't know if they thought maybe one of their D-men was banged up, and because you don't see that very often where a guy literally sits on the bench almost the entire game in the postseason. And, like that's more old school, Daryl. Like that's like when Gary Unger, and I didn't find this out, but when Gary Unger had his games played streak snapped, he was actually dressed, but he didn't touch the ice. And that's how it got broken, which I was just like, what? I didn't even know that was a rule. I thought you just dressed for the game and then you're in. But imagine doing that to a player. It's kind of rare. If you look at it from an LA perspective, like we all know when a team is down 2-0, Daryl, you've been in series like that. Heck, you've been on a team that's down 2-0. Like the desperation's there. We all know the cliches. Geez, you gotta try to take the crowd out in the first 10 minutes. You gotta weather the storm. What is the best way to weather a storm when you're the road team coming up against a team who's desperate for a win?
I think you just go in and you play your game. I don't think the Kings have to change anything that they've done. Whatever they've done in the first couple of games, I think, they've had success with it. I'm not saying that it's a given that they just go out and play that way, that, it's a given that they're going to win the game. These two teams are so familiar with each other. They played against each other, 36 times over the last 4 years, including these games. And so it's a game-to-game thing. They know there's going to be a lot of energy in the building, just like there was a lot of energy in LA. And you have to find a way to use that to your benefit. You feed off of that, and you just keep the game simple. You don't get caught up on it. I think they did it at home, and they're going to have to do it in this building. And Edmonton's going to try to feed off of their fans. And, I think the early part of the game is important, as we've seen, watch the other games in the other series, that, you do have to kind of weather the storm, so to speak. But basically, it's just keep it simple. You don't have to change too much out there. Keep the shift short and don't get caught up in the moment. And I think once the first couple of hits are made and, you get a couple of shots on goal at either end, then it all settles down. And then, the game just kind of falls into place again.
The Kings fans obviously being loud. The Kings have been unreal at home this year, Daryl, but they've also been the worst road team amongst playoff teams in the Western Conference. So how they loved continuing the trend at home in the playoffs. How do they avoid that trend continuing on the road tonight?
Well, I think that trend kind of changed towards at the end of the regular season. You go back to the Kings played a lot of road games at the beginning of the year because of some work that was done at their arena. And they finished off the season playing 22 out of 32 games on home ice. So I think the road record is kind of skewed a little bit. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Kings on the road finished the season 5-2 in their last 7 games. So they are settling back in and playing their game on the road. So I think having that road record the way it is on the entire season is not quite a true reflection as to the way the Kings play on the road.
Okay. Earlier to that, so is it just a confidence thing with LA? They just played better, or is it just you played at home, you play on the road? Like some games, I think it matters, but I don't know if you're in the second period, if the home or the road situation drastically changes it that much. Did you see? Was it just an anomaly that they were infinitely better statistically at home than they were on the road, or did you see something in how they played? Did the crowd give them that much energy this year?
Yeah, I think the crowd definitely, they feed off the crowd, the subtle little things in the line matchups and things like that, having the last line change, that plays to your benefit as well. Again, just like anything, just, cycles, you get on a little bit of roll there and you start feeling like, the opposition can't beat you in there. So you just you build on that and you just make it tough. And, they've had, the good fortune of having that run for them so far this year. And, they hope to keep it up and keep it going, for a lot longer, but it's been pretty magical though in that building though. The energy's been really good.
Daryl Evans joins us. Daryl, you look at the matchup at home, and Chris Knobloch's not one to shy away from it, but obviously Anderson and Doughty is the defensive matchup that they like to have against McDavid. And when you put McDavid and Draisaitl together, I guess that makes it even easier. We know that Danault will get a lot of it. Who do you think? Is it Byfield or Kopitar's line? Which one would be the second best choice in your eyes to go up against McDavid and Draisaitl if it's not Danault?
I think we've seen all three lines match up against, McDavid, Draisaitl. They're phenomenal players. They're great talents. You have to do it by committee. And because of all the games they played against each other, they also understand that they've got to spread that responsibility out. So there's a lot of trust in everybody out there. And you just have to be aware, again, by committee on the ice, that when they're on the ice and, everybody knows what they're capable of doing. So you've got to present layers and take away their time and space. And you have to do it as a group. And that's the approach, the way it'll be tonight.
Well, Daryl, it should be a fun atmosphere. You've been here lots of last few years, so it should be great. The Kings obviously come in a different situation. They're up 2-0 for the first time in these 4 meetings, and we'll obviously look to put a stranglehold on the series tonight. Should be a heck of a game. We'll see you at the rink. All right, guys, enjoy it. Should be a good one. There you go. That's Daryl Evans joining us. He's in Edmonton, of course. Kings and the Oilers tonight. We talked about it earlier. Many of you giving your thoughts on why you think the Oilers are going to roll. And hey, they're going to have to. I know it's cliche, but the numbers back it up. And I think for a team that has never had the lead yet in the series, right? They've never had the lead. So try to get the lead and maybe try to avoid a penalty in the first 5 minutes, because those are trends that you'd like to see changed. 341, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. We got lots more. I love it. The texts are flying in. We'll get to more of those. We got Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. Craig Button's coming up, 4 o'clock, Spec, LT, and much, much more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And we'll hear from Chris Knobloch.
Mr. Rooter hits the link. So I tell the guy it's leaking because you have a hole-in-one.
Hey, Mr. Rooter. You have a better chance of hitting the green with a crescent wrench, you bum.
Oh, boy. It's my rival, Mr. Plunger.
You swing a club like you plumb. Lousy.
Lousy, eh? Hey, Mr. Plunger, there's a clog down there that even you could fix.
For a plumber you can trust, call Mr. Rooter.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta sports and casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
If you or someone you care for are injured in a motor vehicle accident, please listen up. I'm Grant Fedoruk from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and let me proudly say that we won't be the place your insurer tells you to go. We won't be the place because we don't sign agreements with the insurance company. We don't work for them, we work for you. We do want to be the place that your friends, family, and other medically trained professionals send you. So if your insurance company says that you have to see their therapist, you should know that's not true. You have the right to choose where you go, and we hope you choose us. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup.
And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal. My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Will Hock beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 5-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site, April 29th to May 3rd, 8 a.m. Live online bidding. On offer, core construction heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, on-site viewing, and timed auction on now. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
Here at Cooperators, we can help you invest in a way that's right for you. Like the starting to invest later has to be better than never plan. Talk to us today about how we can turn the investing goals you've made into investing realities.
Looking for a local Cooperators representative? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Feeding a crowd, get the triple plate. 3 large specialty or 5 topping pizzas for only $54 when you use promo code 3play at papajohns.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Also, a big shout out today, of course, was the 16th annual Alzheimer's Faceoff Pro-Am. They raised over $1.1 million. So congratulations to all the teams who raised the money. And they're going to have their draft tonight. Ray Bourque. I got to think there's a pretty good chance Ray Bourque's going to be the first overall pick there, Hall of Famer. He was actually sitting at the table that I was the MC today, and he was sitting at our table and was telling a few stories to the guys at the table. I was up there lots, but there's lots of Oilers alumni in that room today, and I think they'll probably have a lot of fun at the draft. Now, they're all diehard hockey fans, so they've actually moved the draft up to start earlier, so let's make sure they have it done before puck drop. So kudos to all of those raising a lot of money. Mike Keena had some very interesting stories talking about like the Denny Savard trade, because that was his first trade as a GM was when he made the Savard for Chelios trade. Right, Savard was in Chicago. And they got Chelios out of Montreal, and he kind of talked about how that trade went down, and it's pretty interesting. And had a few other ones, Wayne Gretzky stories. Talk about the Canada Cup. Like, you remember Mike Keenan? So he was a rookie head coach in 1985 when the Flyers went to the Cup. That was his first year. Went to the Cup. Then they went to the Cup again. Now, they lost both times to the Oilers, but still, 2 of his first 3 years as a coach, they went to the Cup. And then he was the coach for Canada at that 87 World Cup. No, sorry, not Canada Cup, not World Cup. Right? And that was like one of the best tournaments ever. Like the final, the best of 3, 6-5 that Canada lost the first game against the Soviet Union. Then 6-5 Canada wins, 6-5 Canada wins. And, he talked about how when he sat down in the room, because you have all these superstar players. You have Gretzky, you got Lemieux, you got Messi, you got Dale Hawerchuk was an elite player. You go down the list, they had tons. And so what he said he did as a coach was he said, okay, guys, there's 6 guys on the ice at all times. And the game is 60 minutes. So we have 360 minutes. Are you guys okay that Grant Fuhr gets 60 minutes? So boom, now you're down to 300 minutes for everybody else. Well, Wayne Gretzky, you guys okay with him playing 25? Yeah, Messier plays 25. And that's kind of how we got the guys in there thinking, because if you're in the room, like yeah, okay, I deserve it. But yeah, well, we got Gretzky on the team. He probably got to play a lot. Right? It's like when you had McDavid this year. So you have lots of first-line guys who suddenly are 10-minute-a-night guys, maybe 5-minute-a-night guys. And it's hard, but you got to get them to buy in. So it's pretty interesting. He had lots of other stories that he told today. So those are always great. So kudos to the Alzheimer's Society, and more importantly, to all the teams that raised a lot of money. That's $1.1 million. And it helps not only to the people who have Alzheimer's, but their families. And there was a lady, Karen, today, and man, she told a pretty emotional story about her husband, who was a principal and a teacher, and had a great life, and at 52 years of age got early onset Alzheimer's, and that was 6 years ago. And then for the last 3 years, he's been in a full care home. And she choked up a few times talking about, like, when you're a spouse and you want to help your spouse, and then you get to the point where you can't help them anymore. And man, it was a great speech, but whew, it's a tough one to listen to at times. So it's good, man. She composed herself better than I would, I'll tell you that. So nice. Now, we got lots more text to get to. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. If you're a plumber or HVAC installer, go to legacyheating.ca. Competitive wages. You get a hiring bonus. Also, RRSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and more at legacyheating.ca. Here's Cam Tate.
Procrastination. It isn't just a bad habit, it's a mental trap. Psychologists define it as the voluntary delay of an intended action, despite knowing that delay could lead to worse outcomes. I fall hard into that trap. I must drive Connor Halley bananas because I send the audio file of this broadcasting bonanza extravaganza 3 minutes before airtime. 3 minutes there. Just don't tell Gregor. It's something I do. When I wrote a weekly sports column for the Edmonton Journal-L, I started scribbling around 4:30 Monday. Drove sports editors to early retirement. It's the way I roll. Sound familiar, Oilers fans? In their first 2 games against the Los Angeles Kings, Edmonton looked like a team waiting for something. Momentum, urgency, a big save, a scoring frenzy, or maybe just the clock to force them into action. In Game 1, the Oilers were down 4-1 when the boys got going. Sure, they lost 6-5, but their last-minute heroics were something you would have hoped would carry over into Game 2. Wednesday followed a similar pattern. Stretches of dominance bookended by long lapses. The Kings played one hell of a hockey game. The Oilers, sorry there, Grandma Anderson, not much to write home to the farm about. I find it surprising the Oilers in 2 games have been outscored 12-7 because, remember how the Oilers gave up very few shots on goal. And that for me is the most significant change from last year's team. It's 3:35, 5 minutes till airtime. How about that? I'll get today's 2-minute warning into Connor after I finish my grilled cheese sandwich, take my sweet time sipping my Coke, have a shave, check my bank's balance, text my sister Joan to confirm she's coming to the game tonight, and email Gregor the 2-minute warning with Tater, Gregor Show, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Sports 1440.
There you go. The 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Now, you look at the orders, and let's get to Chris Knobloch, because I'm curious about if you want to hear some of the things he had to say. He just talked about the goalie change and the decision to go with Pickard.
Kelvin's coming in and played some really big games for us. Dating back to last year, not playing for a while, coming in the Vancouver series, playing really well. This year, you look at his record, especially since probably January 1st, how many games he's won. We felt that we're in a position we need to win a game, and we have a lot of confidence in him.
Then he was asked, is part of change, like the goalie change, because he had mentioned later in one of his answers how, hey, like this isn't just on Skinner, the team got to play better. So is changing the goalie a subtle way of showing the team that, hey, like we got to be better defensively, special teams, etc.?
I believe our team would treat it the same, whether Stu's in net or Picks. I think it's we're coming back home and we're down 2. There should be a lot of desperation no matter who our goaltender is. But I don't know. I think we just need a big performance, some big saves at key times. Obviously, this isn't our being down 2-0 isn't only on our goaltender. It's on a team thing. And I don't think our mentality changes whoever's starting tonight.
Lots to digest there. He's bang on that being down 2-0 isn't on the goalie, but then he also says, hey, maybe we need a big save. So, hey, like I said before, Skinner didn't make the big save. That's fair. Didn't make a big save. He also, though, didn't make the glaring errors that the players made in front of him to lead to some of those great chances. And but the thing is, hey, you can't fire the whole team, so that's why coaches get fired. You can't bench the whole team. That's why a goalie will get pulled in a game sometimes, or a goalie's now not your starter, and the other guys are. It's just, hey, it's the reality of the position. I understand it, and I'll say this: I'll be if the Oilers play as poorly defensively tonight. Because even if Skinner, and I'm not one who buys in that, they're going to play better because it's Pickard. If they do, then you've got much bigger problems. Why would you play better why would you play terrible for a guy who was your goalie all the way to the Stanley Cup final last year, and in 21 of 23 games was good? In 2 games, he was bad. No debate. The other 21 games, he had a 2.14 and a 916 save percentage. More than good enough, right? But for 2 games, he was bad. And if you're just going to say that your mental mindset of your team is, well, we're going to gift the other team great chances because we don't have confidence in Skinner, well, then they're going nowhere, right? I just can't buy into that. So I don't care who's in goal tonight. If the Oilers play better defensively, they're naturally going to have a better chance to win. Now, if Pickard can come up with a big save, obviously that's going to help. But I don't know if the Oilers have the goalies, and they don't pay them to be the guys that you expect to make the big saves, right? It's just true, right? That's not how their team's built to have McDavid play great plays, Draisaitl make great plays, and other guy, Hyman to do more, Nugent Hopkins to do more, Bouchard, Nurse, right? Like there's lots of other guys that have to do more as well. It's not just a goalie. And hey, I hope Pickard plays well. I would assume he's going to get a little bit better support in front of him. If he doesn't, we're probably going to be talking on Monday about the exact same thing. Leaky defense. I can't imagine the Oilers having 3 consecutive games being that bad defensively. I guess it's possible, but I'm going to play the odds on this one and say they aren't. Now, he talked about using McDavid on the PK a little bit. Is that going to continue, and is that just to try to counter the 5 forward group of the LA Kings?
Well, one, he can handle it. The one, we took it away from him, not because we didn't feel he was confident or we didn't have confidence in him doing it. It was just he had enough on his plate, playing 5-on-5, power play, playing 22, 24 minutes a night. That's, let's take a little something away from him. Now, us losing a penalty killer with Kapanen, we needed somebody to do that. And, McDavid and Kapanen are very similar on that penalty kill jobs, is they can both skate really, really well. And Kapanen's been a partner for Podkolzin, and now that we felt that was the best transition to put him in that spot.
Now, I understand the answer, but let's be honest. Kapanen's not top 4 penalty killer, right? He was like number 6. So if McDavid was coming out for 30 seconds, but we saw McDavid coming out in the second unit. And I understand why, because if McDavid gets the puck against 2 forwards, I like his chances to create something. So I totally understand why he's doing it, right? So why not just say that? Because that's why you're doing it. But now maybe you don't want to say that, but it's like, hey, because I would say that as a coach. Why not put it out there? Everybody knows that's why you're doing it. It's not like people say, geez, I can't believe why McDavid's suddenly playing on the penalty kill. Oh, the other team has 5 forwards. Now, everybody knows if you have a 2-on-2 against 2 regular defensemen or a 2-on-2 against 2 forwards, which one are you going to feel you have better chance to score on? Of course, it's going to be the 2 forwards. Doesn't mean you do, but that's what you're going to think. Like, look at last game. They had a pretty good chance. Shorthanded. McDavid comes in, waits, finds Brown. Pretty decent shot. Calvin Pickard going to start tonight. And he's asked has there anything he's seen the Kings do from his spot on the bench that can help him heading into tonight?
For sure. I feel like we've seen the Kings a lot lately. I got to play them a couple times at the end of the regular season, kind of see their tendencies, and obviously their power play's clicking pretty well right now. So you kind of see those plays that they're looking for, but they're a really good team. They're clicking right now. Their top guys are filling in on the power play, but it's up to us to adjust and make it tougher on them.
So, yeah, that's an advantage, right? And I think it's not like last year where he was out for an extended period of time. because obviously he didn't play in round 1 against LA. There was a little bit of downtime because of the Oilers finished it in 5, and then he came into Vancouver. So, it's Pickard regular season, like he's just just over a week since he played last. So not a big, not a huge drop. Now the Oilers had it obviously 5 days? Yeah, 5 days from the end of the season till then. So we'll see where it goes. Let's get to the con man. We'll hear more from the Oilers locker room. We'll hear from McDavid and Darnell Nurse a little bit later on as well. But first, let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, whether it's your road trip, job commute, job sites, no matter where you drive, you need a team that keeps you rolling. That's what Fountain Tire does. More than just tires. Their expert technicians can handle everything from alignments, brakes, shocks, and full mechanical services. Find your nearest store at fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers and Kings down at Rogers Place tonight. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. We've got pregame coverage for you getting going at 6 o'clock with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson right here on Sports 1440. Calvin Pickard gets the start between the pipes for the Oil. Elsewhere tonight in about an hour, Caps taking on the Canadians, leading that series 2-0. Patrick Laine questionable to go in that one. Then at 6 o'clock, you got the Devils and the Canes meeting in Jersey. Carolina leading 2-0. Ottawa, Nick Cousins has been fined just over $2,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA for unsportsmanlike conduct during last night's warm-up against the Leafs when he fired a buck at Leafs goaltender Anthony Stolarz. The Sens organization was also fined $25,000. In the association at 5, you got the Magic taking on the Celtics. Boston leads that series 2-0. Then at 6, the Pacers can take a 3-0 series lead over the Bucks. At 7:30, Lakers in Minnesota to meet the Timberwolves. That series tied at a game apiece. And in the majors, Jays kicking off the series against the Yankees in the Bronx. First pitch, 5:05. Right now, Cubbies lead the Phillies 3-0. That one is in the bottom of the 4th later tonight. Reds, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Braves. The Mariners hosting the Marlins. Rays take on the Padres. Dodgers up against the Pirates. And the White Sox in Sacramento for a meeting with the Athletics. And in the WHL, we've got 2 games tonight. Conference Championship at 7 o'clock, the Tigers hosting the Hurricanes. Then at 8 o'clock, the Chiefs taking on the Portland Winterhawks. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, it's another chance to qualify for Here Comes the Sun. We'll ask 5 questions and be joined by former NHL General Manager, current TSN analyst, Craig Button. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
This is a slam dunk. Dive into Edmonton's vibrant basketball scene with exclusive interviews and expert analysis. I'm Paul Sir, and I host The Basketball Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440.
When St. Albert Dodge gets
Friday.
a deal, you get a deal. That's how it works. Right now, they've made a special purchase of new 2024 Ram Heavy Duty 2500 and 3500 model trucks.
Welcome
These
back
are
to Gregor Show.
Cummins diesel models with an exclusive offer that you can only get at St. Albert Dodge. What's the deal? A no-charge Cummins engine option, which works out to $9,450 in savings for you.
Connor Halley.
Over 35 available. Get yours now and see how easy
Alberta.ca.
it is
And
to do
we'll hear
business
from
at
Chris.
St. Albert Dodge.
Struggling to make ends meet? You're not alone. Many
Welcome back, Jason Gregor.
times.
Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X.
Experiencing this every day. My name is Parveen Middleton. As a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO in Edmonton, I'm here to help you take control of your finances with a solution made just for you. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at usedcarwash.com.
It's the spring big red sale at Canadian Tire. Save up to 50%.
What are you doing?
These are the biggest deals of the season. I'm shouting it from the rooftop.
You have a radio ad. You don't need to be up there.
The Spring Big Red Sale is on from April 24th to May 1st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona has special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Morning really cracked me up from Bobby. I said, man, Tater's pretty funny. Thinks outside the box sometimes. Funny dude. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Where get in the game. It's Friday night, baby. You're feeling confident. You're positive. Hey, the Oilers need to win. Maybe you want some positivity for yourself. How about $60 million up for grabs and 6 max millions? Maybe tonight's the night the Oilers score 6 goals. We shall see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text in your thoughts, our email inbox, and it's hey, it's Positive Friday. And right now, honestly, this is a great gift that we've had some great packages over the year. This is a fantastic one. Opportunity for you to win a $15,000 turnkey solar system for your home, or if you're feeling like you're Santa Claus. And now, when the Oilers are Santa Claus, not good because they're gifting goals away. But you're going to be gifting this to someone else if you choose. So you can keep it for yourself, or there's someone you want to gift it to. Now, here's the rules, though. Either you or the person you want to gift it to has to have these qualifications. Must be a homeowner. Must reside within a 50-kilometer radius of Edmonton. Also, need newer shingles on your home, 12 years or newer, just because otherwise, if you got old shingles, they put it on, and then in 3 years, you got to get them. Now you're be like, man, this is way more expensive to get the solar system off, then take the shingles off. It's way more work. So that's, we're just trying to save you money there. And then there'll be one final step where you got to send an email. That's pretty simple. So those are the qualifications. Today, it's Positive Friday. So I'm going to think of a number that I think most of you will know the answer to. Okay? I think maybe not. It'd probably be too hard. So I'll just say this. You know what, Cons? It's Positive Friday. How about we give the answer? And if people are listening closely, then they'll know the answer.
I like that.
That's because sometimes people hear things that's not exactly. So we'll try to make it very simple. So Connor McDavid enters tonight's game against the Los Angeles Kings. In his career, Connor McDavid, in the postseason, has played 20 games against the Los Angeles Kings. Now, the Oilers, of course, had pretty good success at 18 and what's their success rate? Sorry, in that time, the Oilers have played 20 games and they have won. They're 12-8. Not bad. They obviously would love to get to 16 wins at some point. But Connor McDavid, a mere 2 points a game. He has played 20 games, Connor Halley. He's averaging 2 points a game. Okay, I'm going to say that again. 20 games, 2 points a game. Text in the answer. How many points does Connor McDavid have in his playoff career against the Kings? 20 games, 2 points a game. Anybody but Rashog is going to get this answer. All right. Text in the answer with your name. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Don't worry if you're listening online or on the app. You got time. Okay. We'll give you a good till 4:17. Good 8 minutes. Text in your name. How many points McDavid has in his career against the Los Angeles Kings? 20 games, 2 points per game. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, if the Oilers lose this series, what do you think management does for goaltending? Well, you know what? It's Positive Friday. I'll say they'll do something different, but we'll wait and see. There's obviously, hey, there's really only 3 options. Well, 4. You keep both goalies. You get rid of Pickard, bring in someone else. Get rid of Skinner, bring someone else, or you get rid of both. Right? That's it. Those are the only options. So I think it's something that we can discuss at a later time. Now, maybe there's a change. Keep in mind, Stan Bowman's in here, right? Like, there's always going to be changes, and it doesn't. It's funny. I talked to another guy who's a big CEO of a company, and he talked about when he comes in, and he's done it to a few places where he's worked in his career, right? And he says usually you can tell your first when you come into a job. There's usually a first few people. That's not going to work, right? You're out. Then there's a few others that, you give them, there's like that honeymoon period. You see how they want to do, because not everybody's going to do the job the way you want. Whatever it is, it's going to be different. Then 4 or 5 months, then he feels within a year, that should give you time to find out exactly some people, hey, you know what? They're really coming around. Maybe they can't, or maybe we've got to make a change, because plus you have to see some people in the job for an extended period of time. So I think Stan Bowman, I look at this summer, there's going to be, the Oilers could win the cup and there's going to be changes. The Oilers losing the first round, there's going to be changes. Either way, there's going to be changes. But I think Stan Bowman's going to look at a lot of different things. And the truth is, there's going to be changes sometimes. There just is. In scouting, we saw it. But, that's going to transfer into other ones, because now he sees, I know they like to say, I want to see how people work myself. I don't want to judge it on what anybody else said. I want to see how they work, and does how they do things and how they approach things on a similar path to me. So, could we see changes to the coaching staff? Now, not the head coach. I'd be very surprised about that. I guess I don't rule out anything, but I'd be surprised. But coaches, assistant coaches, goalie coaches, right? Scouts, there could be other changes. So that might be it too. So we'll see where it goes from here. But there definitely, there's always changes. But I think there's, and if the season, whether it goes the way you want it or not, I think there has to be some changes for sure. So we'll see where it goes. Hey guys, what do you feel about the Oilers putting Henrique back with McDavid? I thought they were great in limited time, especially against LA. Yeah, the coach never really went to that all season, right? So I guess at this stage, I would probably be I'd probably be surprised if we see him now in the playoffs, because he didn't really do it in the regular season at all. And you're right, they did have success then. Henry got banged up, but he had like the ankle sprain, and they moved him off, and it was a really short period of time, but it was a short time, but it was a good time, and they had success. So now I guess you're suggesting that you take Draisaitl back and you would put Henrique up there and you keep Janmark as a fourth line center. I guess in that theory, it's possible, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything from the coach that would lead me to believe it. But again, hey, like, I don't know, man. Like, if they lose tonight, they could be desperate and try anything. But if they win, then what happens? I'm still not in love. I'll be honest. I'm not in love with the McDavid Draisaitl. Like, look, you started them last game together, and you lost 6-2. Right? Like they did score one goal, but and I'm trying. Was McDavid on the ice? I can't remember. I know Klingberg made the unreal assist. I don't think. I can't remember. Cons was if McDavid was even on the ice on that play. I think he might have been. I think he was. So, they scored one goal. But I just like it because I got two guys who have Hart Trophy winners already in their careers. Both could be multiple Hart Trophies, depending on what happens this year for Draisaitl. That if you have McDavid on the ice, even if it's, let's say he plays 15, 16 minutes 5-on-5, and Draisaitl plays 15, 16 minutes 5-on-5 apart, and then they play another few minutes together. Like, now I've got 35 to 38 minutes just of 5-on-5 time. And maybe that's high, so maybe it's a little bit lower, whatever. Let's just say 30 out of the 50 minutes 5-on-5. I've got one of those guys on the ice, at least one, and sometimes two. I just like that better than having both of them on the ice for 16 minutes 5-on-5, especially with how many power plays and penalty kills there have been. So that's where I come out on it. Obviously, everybody's going to be different. The coach right now is going to be different. So we'll see. We got a lot of people. You know what I like? All of your math. Everybody's Cons, I think we have a sweep. I think we have a sweep today. Everybody's got the correct answer. So that's awesome. We'll return. We'll have our qualifier for Here Comes the Sun, courtesy of Action Electrical, a $15,000, 15 grand solar system for your home. It's amazing. We'll let you qualify for that when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Get in here tonight for the game. It's going to be hopping at OTR.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw a load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Kevin Carius, Lowetide, Jason Gregor. They are all ready for the Cup Run. Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey, including our pre- and post-game show with Andrew Walker. Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader.
Truck Month is on now at GMC, and it's one of the best times to get behind the wheel. Right now, get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models with a 13.4-inch diagonal center touchscreen, and available Duramax 6.6-liter turbo diesel V8 engine with 470 horsepower. Plus, the most trailering assistance technologies in its class. Sierra has some serious hauling power and is the only off-road ready HD. Truck Month is on now. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 5-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site, April 29th to May 3rd, 8 a.m. Live online bidding. On offer, core construction heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, on-site viewing, and timed auction on now. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
What would you do if you won $1 million in the Service Big Share contest? Maybe you'd have more time for... Or do a little more.
This is your final boarding call for flight number 419.
Or finally, more... Entering to win the $1 million is easy. Just bring your savings to Service or add more to your account. The more you save, the more Service Big Share contest entries you get. Service Credit Union. Feel good about your money. Now open to Connect First members. Contest ends April 30th, 2025. Skill test required. For rules, visit service.ca/win.
Want an easy way to protect your lifestyle and your loved ones? With Mortgage Guard from Cooperators, you can secure your mortgage through a chosen mix of life insurance and optional critical illness and disability benefits. Plus, unlike some other policies, your coverage amount stays the same despite your decreasing mortgage balance, and your beneficiary can use the proceeds any way they want. That's a lot of protection, all in one convenient plan. Contact Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions for more. Mortgage Guard is a registered trademark of and underwritten by Cooperators Life Insurance Company. Please refer to your policy for applicable coverage limitations and exclusions. Individual circumstances may vary.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.420, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Man, we have got a lot of funny texts, and people are you know what? I like it. People fired up on a positive Friday, as we are basically just 4 hours away from puck drop tonight. The Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. And hey, if the Oilers win, guess what? You don't even have to wait as long for the next game, because Sunday night is a 7:30 broadcast start time, which means puck drop probably closer to 7:45. So, hey, win-win for you on a Sunday. A little bit earlier, which means the kiddos can maybe watch, at least one period, maybe two, depending on the bedtime and the age. So, positive if they win. Because if they win Friday, man, all of Edmonton's going to be in a great mood leading into Sunday night. Now, let's get to our qualifier for Here Comes the Sun. Big shout out again to Blake and everyone at Action Electrical providing this unbelievable package, because not only is it great, it's going to save you all the installation costs, everything $15,000. They come install, they come and do an assessment, everything, make sure it's great. Remember, you got to be a homeowner, must reside within 50K. Now that's for you, or if you're going to gift it to someone, they have to qualify for this as well. And you need the newer shingles, 12 years old or newer. If you qualify and then you want to get them replaced beforehand, obviously all the power to you. So there you go. And we'll do the draw on May 23rd. And today's qualifier, con man, is Chris. Congratulations, Chris. It's a positive Friday for you, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm excellent. Chris, what's your thoughts tonight? What's going to happen in the big game?
Well, I'm trying to stay glass half full and optimistic, so I'll go with a 5-2 Oiler win.
5-2 Oiler win. I like it. Yes, Oiler fans would agree with you that would be good. Chris, you have qualified. Is this going to be one you keep, or do you have somebody that you might consider gifting it to?
I'll probably offer it to my cousin and her husband. I'm a single dad. They help me out a ton with my kids.
Oh.
And if they don't want it, I'll probably greedily keep it for myself.
Well, hey, man, the fact you're even offering, that's awesome. Well, hey, shout out to single dads, man. You guys do a ton of work. Doesn't get talked about enough. So shout out from us, Chris, to you, and keep the kids rolling. Enjoy the game with the kids, and stay on the line. Connor will get all your information. There's one final step for an email. It's pretty simple, and then you'll be in the draw. Good luck.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
There you go. Pretty simple. There you go. Next chance to win, Monday afternoon, 4:00. When we announce it for Here Comes the Sun, courtesy of Action Electrical. And you can check out what it would be. Go look at what the solar system would look like. It'd be awesome at actionelectrical.net. It is a positive Friday as we now get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies that safely take your team to the next destination. Hey, if you got a big group, you're going to the game, you got a big party, you want to arrive safe and sound, SilentRides.ca could get you there. as we welcome in former NHL general manager and scout, Stanley Cup winner, ace scout and analyst on TSN. Craig Button joins us. Butts, how you doing, my man?
I am really, really good, Jason. How are you today?
Oh, I am fired up. There's, the NHL playoffs have been great. There's been, a few little surprises to me. The NBA playoffs, I'm loving this time of year. So lots happening. It's sunny out in Edmonton, so not much to complain about. And no one would listen anyway, so why complain? Doesn't do us any good. So
complaining doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah. Now let's talk about. We obviously got to start with the Edmonton Oilers, and it was hard for me to find any area of their game that I'd be like, oh wow, it was good through 2 games. So if I look at it on Positive Friday, I'm like, man, they got lots of room to improve tonight against the LA Kings.
Well, there's no question about that, and I think that when you consider how poorly they played, and except, why don't we just say with the exception of one period out of 6, because the third period was pretty impressive, mostly impressive by 97 and closely followed by 29. But the other 5 periods were really poor. I mean, one of the things I felt that LA had to do in this series to have success against Edmonton was try to widen their lead, try to give themselves some spread, because if the game's close, McDavid and Draisaitl can turn the game and twist it in the favor of the Edmonton Oilers real quick. And that's exactly what the LA Kings were doing. Not offensively, they're not a top offensive team, but the power play was really effective. And when you think about the Oilers, except for that one period, and really 97 and 29, it's hard to find anything positive. So knowing that and knowing that they're capable of better, I think that your positive approach is, okay, could it get worse? Probably not. And can they have lots of room to improve? Yes. And we know that when the Oilers are playing well, that they can beat anybody in the league. But they got to, and I think, Jason, it's not about finding 3 things. It's about saying, what's the one thing that has to give us a chance to have success? And I think number 1, and they go hand in hand, discipline and penalty killing. If they don't improve those 2 things, nothing else matters.
Hey, 1,000%, man. Like, hey, could they get it? Could Skinner have made a big save? 100%. But he would have had to make like 6 big saves, considering how many terrible giveaways that they continually gave out. I want to start with the penalty kill, Craig. And when I look at the Oilers penalty kill, last year was unbelievable. It was in sync. They're pressuring all over the ice. And I know it's a mindset. They're tripping over themselves to get on the ice because they're so confident they can kill it off. And right now they don't have Ekholm, they don't have Desharnais, they don't have Ceci. So their penalty kills naturally wasn't going to be as good. It was never going to be as good as last year because it was almost like record-breaking good. But it's been 50%. So you can be not as good and still be 80%. But to be 50% is pretty bad. And it's not just that they're 50%, Craig. Like, they've given up 20 shots. Like, it's a shooting gallery. So if you were just going to do one thing different on the PK tonight, what would it be?
Okay, so let me go to a couple of things, too. And I want to add a couple of things to what you just said with the 3 defenders. They also don't have Ryan McLeod and Warren Foegele, 2 very disruptive forces on the penalty kill. Because when you're on the power play playing with those guys quickly can get a chance the other way. And they did last year. That was a part of the penalty killing too, putting pressure on. They gave up a total of 4 power play goals against last year during the playoffs. They've given up 5 already. And we know that that's not good enough. When your penalty kill isn't going very good, you got to go find goals other places. And it becomes hard to do that. So one of the things that the Oilers and the way they kill penalties, they rotate off the top. And they like to rotate around, and then the other guy comes around and they try to trap. I mean, it's almost like a basketball trap, the way they do it. I think they got to get away from that because they don't have the foot speed, they don't have the quickness, they don't have the length on the blue line. So I think they got to get back to a traditional four box and kind of keep them outside and just say, we're not worried about pressure, we're worried about giving up those shots. They've given up too many grade A chances, too many cross ice lanes that open it up. That's part of the lack of length. And they can't. So if you can't put on pressure with your speed, you don't have the length to break up those plays, you better get back into a traditional 4-man box. And I think that's the one thing that I would do if I was Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Now the power play, Chris, went from 45%, and really it's been a great power play for a long time, but through 2 games, no goals, the other team has 5 goals. You've lost by a combined 5 goals. It's, hey, I'm no mathematician, but obviously the power play needs to be better. And like LA Kings penalty kill is infinitely more aggressive, right? And Connor McDavid, I thought, had a pretty good answer today. Goes, hey, LA's penalty kill, the way they're doing it is you can't kind of just, the Oilers would sit there and sometimes it'd kind of be like a python. They would just slowly squeeze you, wait till you get tired, and then boom, you make one mistake, we score, right? You're on there for a minute 20 and they're super fresh. He says you can't do that against this penalty kill. You gotta react quickly, and when you do get a good chance, it's going to be a grade A chance because they're so aggressive. And it's almost like LA is saying to the Oilers, we're going to run at you guys, and if you beat us, we'll live with those consequences.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a mindset, and when you have quickness and you have players that can disrupt, and keep in mind what I just said about Fogle and Ryan McLeod, those are 2 players that are significantly missed on the penalty kill. So now you have smart players. You have Deneau, you have Kopitar, but you also have quickness in their group, so that aggressiveness. I think the other thing, and Chris Knobloch said this after game 1, they also have to shoot the puck more. They have to shoot the puck more. One way to break down opponents, and on the penalty kill, is when you get the puck to the net, the defenders now all have to look at their net. So you get them turned around, and now you can attack, and now you can get on them and create disruption. When you're outside and you're trying to just relieve that pressure from outside, well, now you're just trying to get the puck. Okay, we don't want to lose it. We want to get it up the wall. We want to get it somewhere else. I think that they got to get into a shot thought mentality. And Chris said we had offensive zone time in the first game, but we didn't shoot the puck enough in the first 2 periods. I think that's a thing that they got to really get focused in on. And I thought they did a little bit better job of that in game 2. Bouchard missed the net a couple of times, but I think they were a little bit better focused on shooting the puck towards the net. And I think they got to do a lot more of that, create rebounds. Because one thing, Kemper's good. We know Kemper's a good goaltender, but there's been a few times in and around his net that he's not been tidy with the shots. There's been some rebounds and some second opportunities available, but you got to get into that mindset. Shot, get to the net. Shot, get to the net. I think if they do a little bit more of that, they can have some success.
Well, you were bang on, like Kemper last game. I'm not sure he had to really make a real great save. The Oilers, you know what? Hey, they scored twice on him, but he didn't have to make. He didn't rob them where you're like, oh my God, the Oilers had a chance to tie it here, but he made an unbelievable save. They didn't do it. I like 5-on-5, Craig. LA, Edmonton, it's been kind of even, but Edmonton really hasn't had a lot of sustained pressure 5-on-5. How do you think they can generate? Like, to me, that's why I'd have McDavid and Draisaitl on separate lines, because I think that gives you a better chance, but they're not going to start that way. So with the format, is it simply saying Nugent Hopkins, Heim and our other guys got to get going, or are you seeing something that Edmonton needs to do specifically in their 5-on-5 attack to get more sustained pressure?
Well, a couple of things that I would suggest is when you look at where the Oilers are at, and like, okay, you have not 29 and 97 together. That's one thing, but yeah, other players have to be able to contribute more. But to have sustained pressure, you have to be able to put pressure on, and you have to be able to make a team uncomfortable. I'm a believer that the game starts, and then we'll talk about game 3 here, that the mindset is we're making their defense turn every single time. Because it's not about the first shift or the 5th shift or the 8th shift. It's about when we get to the 50th shift, that now we can wear them down. When you make defenders continuously turn and turn and turn and turn and turn again, well, now they give you a little bit of space in front of you because they know they got to go back for the puck. If you can get on them, now you're putting pressure on them. That, to me, is the number one thing the Edmonton Oilers have to do. Like, Bill Walsh with the San Francisco 49ers used to script, I think it was the first 10 plays of the game. So if I'm Chris Knobloch, this is what we're doing for the first period of this game. We're just going to wear them down and make them turn and go back for pucks and let them know that you're not going to have any easy transition. You're not going to be able to, and plant the seed in their head. And then I think you're going to try to be able to establish that zone time and then continuously put pressure on them. But if you're going to start to make plays where they can transition and you think you're going to make plays at the top of the circles, well, you're not using your ice. You're not using your ice advantage to wear them down. That's what I would be doing with them in the first period for sure of this game.
Craig Button joins us here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And Craig, let's get some of the other series because the Oilers, and everybody knows the Oilers, they got to win. You lose tonight, and it's good night, Irene. Vegas and Minnesota. And the Vegas top line, goose eggs. Minnesota's top line, almost unstoppable right now with Kaprizov and Boldy. They're playing great. Vegas looks a little slow in that series.
Yes, they do. The first game, I thought it was like kind of a typical Vegas type of game. They're not going to give up much. They're going to take advantage of their opportunities. And I mean, it was a 2-1 game, an empty netter. But when you think about the way that the Minnesota Wild have been able to play the last two games, I don't think it's been close, Jason. If I tuned into Game 2 and Game 3. I would say, yeah, no surprise. I mean, the Minnesota Wild, that's what a Stanley Cup contender looks like. I mean, they've been there. They look like the Vegas Golden Knights did a couple of years ago, or what we expected of them. And they're relentless. And right now, those two games, Eriksson F., we know what a good player is, Boldy, Kaprizov, and they're just wearing them down. And the other thing about when you say slow, Vegas doesn't seem to be able to get to what I call the soft underbelly of Minnesota, and that's their blue line. After you get past once you get past Faber and Brodin, it's not a great blue line, but they're not able to beat the pressure of Minnesota. And Minnesota looks like they're just grinding down on Vegas. You talk about a series of for the Edmonton Oilers having to win Game 3. I think it's must win for Vegas in Game 4 because I don't think the way they've shown right now, it'll be tough to come back and beat Minnesota 3 consecutive games.
Yeah, Minnesota's looked really good here. And now Vegas, like most teams, if your best guys aren't going, you don't have a chance.
Yeah, you're right.
Craig, it's 2-1 in the series, but, Hellebuck's not – now, they lit him up last night. Now, and it's never just the goalie, but it's interesting. In Game 2, everyone's like, oh, Hellebuck played great. And I'm like, well, he only faced 4 good chances. It's, best goalie should play well in that game. Last night, they faced way more. And he might be, Craig, the greatest study that I can think of. His last 3 regular seasons, 187 games, .922 save percentage, 2.29 goals against. We're talking best goal in the league. His last 3 playoff years, which I know is only 13 games because they haven't went anywhere. They haven't got out of the first round. He's got an .844 save percentage and a .411 goals against. How much of this is mental? How much of this is the environment in front of him? Are the Jets just not built for playoff hockey? Is it help? What's going on here?
Okay, so the one thing I will say is this. When we go back to last year, and I think last year, 2 years ago against Vegas, I believe that the Vegas Golden Knights, Winnipeg got hurt. They ended up getting injuries, and they couldn't get through that series. I mean, they were up in Game 2. They lost in double overtime, but they lost players, including Josh Morrissey. Last year was a debacle. The penalty killing was terrible, and they just couldn't get a grip on the game. So when I'm watching the team this year, I think they made some really good positive strides forward in terms of understanding how you have to play come playoff time. And I think they showed that in the first 2 games. I thought they played really effectively. They stifled the St. Louis Blues. I think we always have to be careful of one game. And, we can't unwind the numbers of what Connor Hellebuck's numbers have been in the previous two playoff seasons, and plus the Game 3. But I think that the team is a much better team, a much deeper team. That being said, when you can put a dent and a seed of doubt into a goaltender's mind, like the St. Louis Blues did last night, I think that's a good start for the St. Louis Blues. The second thing I'm going to say is .844 save percentage. You're not having success in any league with an .844 save percentage. Connor Hellebuck's going to have to find a way to be better. Full stop.
Yeah. What about Tampa Bay and Florida? Now the Barkov injury, that's going to be a storyline for sure moving forward. And we'll see what happens there. But man, Florida's looked pretty good, Craig. 2 games in.
Yeah, they have, and they're getting Ekblad back for Game 3. I mean, they have stifled the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, an offensive team. Right now, I'm watching this series, and you know what it looks like to me, Jason? 2019 Columbus versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa had won the President's Trophy that year. They lost the first 2 games. There was frustration creeping into their game, and they got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's looking eerily similar to me right now.
Yeah. What about where do you come out on the Capitals? I actually like their team a lot. I picked them to beat Montreal. I know their third periods haven't been good in the series, right? Thompson, and hey, they get Thompson back. That changes the look of their team from where they were down the stretch. But is Washington, is this just, hey, good team get past the first round, or are you seeing some maybe chinks in the armor?
You got to give Montreal a little bit of credit. I think third period's over, but for the other 4 periods, Montreal's looked like a team that's not even close to Washington. So if I'm Spencer Carberry, I'm going, listen, you know what? We get a lead. We're playing comfortably. We got things under control. If you want to go deeper in the playoffs, you got to keep control. And let's just go back to Florida and Tampa Bay. If you think about that game last night, it's 1-0 going into the third period. And Tampa didn't get a sniff. They didn't get a sniff. Yeah, I know Point had a chance early on a play. I think that was in the second period. They didn't have a sniff because what Florida says is, we can win this game 1-0. We're not going to nurse the game. We're giving you nothing. And so that's when when I call like just knuckling down, getting right into what you got to do. And I thought they did a fantastic job of that against Montreal. That's what Florida did against Tampa Bay. Washington's done it for 4 periods out of 6. They got to do it in the third period as well.
Well, Craig, it's going to be a great one. Do you think the Oilers can get back in this series, or is it done?
Yeah, I can. No, I don't think it's done. I think you get home. I mean, obviously, you think about what happened last year, and listen, when you've gone through some of the adverse experiences that the Oilers have done, they know what they have to do to get better. Now, it comes down to doing exactly that and being better. They're going to have to do that. But when you can show that you can beat good teams and you have beat good teams and you can play really well, then it's not like trying to find something. They just have to go back and say, this is what we're going to be committed to. And that's why I say about the first period, how you got to try to, play the game and wear them down and get comfortable when the game is even, and don't let the game get out of reach, because now when it gets out of reach, you got to shorten your bench. You're putting more pressure on McDavid and Draisaitl. So I think that they can absolutely get back into this game, and it starts with game 3.
Well, it's going to be a big one tonight, no question. What about the Habs? We know the environment's going to be ballistic, and it's going to be off the charts there, just like it will be in Edmonton tonight. But Patrick Laine, Craig, obviously, hey, I agreed with Marty St. Louis. I didn't love Laine's effort, but do you think Laine gets it, or is he just a guy who's a power play specialist and you can't play him much 5-on-5?
I totally agree with that. Listen, he's a hell of a specialist. Goal scoring is important in the league. Yeah. You might remember the name Pierre LaRouche. Pierre LaRouche was a 2-time 50. He's a 50-goal scorer. He played with the Montreal Canadiens in the late 70s on Stanley Cup teams. There was nights he was on the 4th line. There was nights Scotty Bowman didn't dress him, and there was nights when he needed to play him a lot. But he used Pierre depending on what the situation in the game was, and he knew how to use Pierre. Patrick Laine's terrible 5-on-5, and I think in game 1. No, was it game 2? The old game 1, the overtime winner. I mean, I don't think Marty St. Louis should ever have Patrick Laine out on the ice in that situation. I think that was a coaching mistake, and then you get caught. And I think that Patrick Laine, if you got a power play, if you're down by a bunch of goals in the game, and you need some goals, then that's from Pat. If not, he's sitting right at the end of the bench waiting for the right opportunity, because if it's not, you're vulnerable as a team. And I think that's what he is.
Awesome stuff, Craig. Have yourself a great weekend, man. Where are you at? What game are you doing tonight?
We're in Dallas for the U18, Canada-Latvia.
Canada-Latvia. What? The U18. Is there anybody there, Craig, that you're watching closely that you think is going to be a little bit of a riser for you next year's draft?
Next year's, I mean, Keaton Verhoff came here, so he's in Victoria. You got Ryan Lynn, who's here, who's an outstanding player. You got Carson Karls, all Western Hockey League, 16-year-old defensemen. They're outstanding. So, you got those players for sure that are going to take big steps forward. But and they're going to be right in that top end of the draft, because if they were in this year's draft, they'd be in the top end of the draft. And so it's not so necessarily about somebody for next year's draft. Are you talking about 26 or 25?
26.
Yeah, those are the three guys. There's simple. Landon Dupont isn't here because he's injured.
Oh,
Obviously McKenna isn't here. But at the same time, those three defensemen I just named that all play in the Western Hockey League, outstanding players, and it'll be fun to watch them here, and it'll be fun to watch them next year. Because the other thing that's two of them are right shot defensemen that are offensively gifted. Who doesn't want those guys, right?
Yeah. Hey, one last one. This one, if you are Gavin McKenna's advisor agent, and he has a chance to play 30-some games in NCAA or play another full year of Western League, what would you recommend is the best path for him?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say, Jason. So just be a little bit patient with me. I'll try to keep this tight. Number one, what I would say to Gavin McKenna is, do you like Medicine Hat? Do you like the coach? Do you like the players? Do you like the environment? Do you like the situation there? And if the answer is yes, and I don't have any reason to believe that the answer isn't yes, then that's number one. Number two is, what are you trying to get by going to the NCAA? And don't tell me about money, because Gavin McKenna is going to make well over $100 million in his career. So $200,000, you're going to go chase $200,000 right now. And do you want to be a student athlete? Because one of the biggest things, and for freshman hockey, for freshman athletes, being academically eligible is a primary consideration in your freshman year, and you got to stay focused to stay academically eligible. So all those things, like what you're going there for money? Give me a break, seriously. And like I said, he's going to make hundreds of he might make $200 million when it's all said and done. And again, if you want to get out of Medicine Hat because you don't like it, like I said, there is nothing there to indicate that. Then why are you leaving? That's what I would say.
Yeah. I would agree with you 100%. And you know what? Selfishly, I kind of hope he stays too. So we'll see. I like watching him play.
I do too. Yeah, I agree.
Greg, enjoy the U18s. We will talk to you again next Friday.
We will. Thanks, Jason.
That's Craig Button from TSN. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's a positive Friday. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, you know what would be positive? $60 million. Win it. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca for Lotto Max. As we return live at On the Rocks, where one thing I'm positive about, it's going to be packed in here tonight, and everybody's going to be having a good time, especially if the Orders are victorious. We'll return with 5 questions, Spec, LT, and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
The Alzheimer's Faceoff, presented by Christensen Communities Limited, hits the ice today until Sunday, pairing hockey fans with some of their favorite players from the NHL Alumni Association for a fun-filled weekend in support of the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories. Today features a champions luncheon followed by the teams hitting the ice tomorrow and Sunday in a friendly hockey tournament at Terwilliger Rec Center. To purchase a table to the champions luncheon or to learn more about how you can get involved in the tournament, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca for more info.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Waking up tired. Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds, you'll be ready for anything this truck month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
What would you do if you won $1 million in the Service Big Share contest? Maybe you'd have more time for, or do a little
This
more,
is your final boarding call for flight number 419.
or finally more. Entering to win the $1 million is easy. Just bring your savings to Service or add more to your account. The more you save, the more Service Big Share contest entries you get. Service Credit Union. Feel good about your money. Now open to Connect First members. Contest ends April 30th, 2025. Skill test required. For rules, visit service.ca/win.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 5-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site, April 29th to May 3rd, 8 a.m. Live online bidding. On offer, core construction heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, on-site viewing, and timed auction on now. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all of your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.451, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Welcome back. Connor Halley, Jason Gregor, Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. And you have till the end of the month to get some huge savings. $300 off appliances when you buy 2 or more. How about 25% off bedroom or dining furniture, and save an additional $1,000 off of big screen TVs till April 30th at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. We're going to make it a 3-for-1. Now, let's get your prediction for the score tonight. How many goals get past Calvin Pickard, I guess, in the process, and who scores the first goal of the game?
Oh, God, I have no idea, because I have no idea how the Oilers are going to play defensively. I can't predict it. Like, my God, they can't possibly be as bad defensively. Like, it'd be really hard. Like, watch those 2 games and see how bad they were defensively with the absolutely horrific. And not bad the whole game. Just when they decided to be bad, it was like, we're going to do 10 bell bad. So, I don't know. 3, let's say. I just can't envision the Oilers losing 3 straight to the Kings. So, they'll find a way to win. I think McDavid and Draisaitl will do something offensively on the power play to give their team a spark. So, Edmonton wins at home 4-3.
All right. I'm going to go 4-2 to get past Pickard, and first goal of the game, Zach Hyman in the paint from Connor McDavid. Question number 2 for you. Of course, Oilers at home now, Canadians as well. I think 2 of the best atmospheres in playoff hockey. When you think of best atmospheres in sports and ones that you've been to, what stands out outside of the Oilers?
Go ahead.
You know what? For me, I think NFL football is one that's been always pretty crazy. And one game that stands out specifically was a Sunday nighter down in San Diego when the Chargers were actually good and winning the divisions, taking on the Ravens, primetime game. Did not sit down once. The entire game, we were sitting row 10, we were standing. If you sat down, you wouldn't see a thing because everyone was standing. So I have yet to be to a European soccer game, which might take the cake. But for now,
Yes.
NFL football.
I was in Europe many moons ago for a hockey and was blown away. Small arena in Cologne was off the charts crazy. And like playoff hockey is hard to match, to be honest. But you're right. European soccer. I went there for a regular season game to Chelsea. That was a regular season game. And I was like, what is happening here? So, and it was constant, right? Like even in the playoffs in North America, like, there is some quiet time. The game's a little bit different. I get it. But man, Europe in a lot of their sports, it's just a different culture than we are. Like they're a little bit more flamboyant. They're a little bit louder. They like to sing and dance more. Like we're kind of like, oh, geez, I don't want anybody to see me sing. I don't want to see me dance. Not everybody, but a lot of us, unfortunately. And there, I'm sure South America, I've never been there, and I've heard that's a wild experience. So, but like a closed stadium, man, game 6 of 2006 is still the loudest building I've ever been.
Watch that from standing room only.
Stanley Cup final, I should say.
that was, I can attest, that was a wild game. Question number 3 for you. Was there a pick or picks in the first round of the NFL draft last night that stood out to you, good or bad reasons?
I don't know. I don't know if there was any like major surprising picks, really. I'm following along. There wasn't like, oh my God, this guy jumped up to 3 or 4. So I didn't see a big surprise, I guess. And I don't know, Cons, because it depends where you come. Like so many people, Sanders should have, but lots of people didn't view him as high. Like some people, the people who love him think he's unbelievable. And, it's a quarterback and it's a quarterback driven league. So I understand it. I guess I would go with the running back in the top 7. That's always a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, a couple for me. Tyler Warren going after Colston Loveland, I think, was a bit of a surprise. Tyler Booker to the Cowboys, and then Gray's able to the Seahawks. Cool to see the guards getting selected so early. And, with all the star pass rushers at defensive tackle now, I think it's a necessity. But one that kind of did stand out to me, other than the Giants, would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking another wide receiver. I mean, they have Godwin. They drafted another player last year. You've got Mike Evans. Mecca Igbukwe, I think, has like a very, very high ceiling. Like he's going to be a good player. High floor, sorry. He's going to be a really good, reliable target. They're planning for the future, but I thought they might go a different direction with that pick. Question number 4 for you. Just looking at the NFL draft last night, I'm sure you saw it. Thousands of fans outside watching it. They were projecting $100 million being brought into Green Bay over the weekend. Do you think the NHL could do something like this, albeit a smaller scale, but make it a fan party, hold it outdoors, do those types of things?
Well, the hard part about holding it outdoors is they have the stadium, right? Most like there's no outdoor stadium in hockey. Now
they've done it all outside though.
Right. But the stadium's out, like where they have the draft, right? Is they did it outdoors last night, did they not?
They all are. Since they moved it out of New York, it's been all outdoors, all fan park style.
Right. Yeah. So I guess if I look in Edmonton, because our summer in Edmonton in June is amazing. Right. I think if no one debate, people come in, they're watching on TV. Oh my goodness, it's still light out. What the hell's happening? Right. They'd be blown away. So that'd actually be good. But where would you host it if you want to have even 5,000? Because I don't think it'd be hard to get 5,000 fans to go to a draft. Right. I honestly don't think so. But where in Edmonton could you host it at 10? Like, you doing it at Commonwealth Stadium? What fan park do you think, where you could even do it? I'm sure some American cities, because they've done it in the NFL, like Nashville would seem like a no-brainer to me. But like Toronto's fan park and even Edmonton's fan park, like it only can host so many people downtown. It's not that big.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Green Bay, obviously, and it's probably different because you look at all these football stadiums, a lot of them designed to tailgate. So you've got those big spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. And, we're seeing the NHL in a way going the other way, right? Because they're doing the decentralized draft, but you're still having the prospects there similar to what the NFL does. So I think it'd be a cool thing if they could one day get that done. Question number 5 for you. The Edmonton Oilers tonight cannot afford another slow start. So if you had to show the Oilers one motivational clip, a speech perhaps, before the game from a movie or TV show, what stands out to you?
You go ahead, buddy.
You know what? There's a lot of good ones, and I think a lot of them come from sports movies, football movies specifically. But I like the clip of Friday Night Lights when Billy Bob's speaking, and then Christian interrupts and just starts screaming at the team, and the coaching staff stands back. They do 2-a-days, we do 2-a-days. They bleed, we bleed. Just screaming at the boys. I think I'd go with that one. Try to fire them up.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of thinking, what about from Rocky Balboa when he says, "It ain't about how hard you hit; it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." Now the movie was terrible, but that one clip is pretty good.
Yeah, I would like to hear from the listeners which ones they'd go with. Any given Sunday's classic.
Yeah, well, they haven't given Sunday's one is pretty good. You have the to me, you kind of have to know your group, right? And could you have a humorous one, right? Like there's a few from Slapshot if you wanted a real good laugh. So I think you probably have to have, and I think it might come down to like one of the leaders of your team who knows the group quite well. Because even though it's a big game and you want guys to be focused, like you can't be like inherently, and we've talked when we've had sports psychologists on, like you can't be there for 3 hours just zoned in, right? Like you'll be mentally dead by the time the game starts. So sometimes I wonder if you have a leader in your room who knows the pulse of your team, and that might impact. Do you have a little bit more of a serious one, like a real harsh, like you said, yelling motivator, or is it a humorous one? Right? What are you going to go with? Depends on your group, probably.
It's the line from Animal House. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. And they're like, don't top him. He's on a roll.
He's on a roll.
Yeah. Oh, there could be some good ones for sure. I like it. When we come back, Mark Spector, LT will join us. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th. It's calm before the storm. Man, people are coming in here already in order jerseys. Everybody's getting fired up. You make a reservation. They definitely will have some walk-in tables available. But it's going to be a great night. You got lots of specials going on. It's happy hour till 8:00, dudes and ladies. So hey, get in. You can have a little bit before you get set to watch the game. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. Mix it up with Booster Juice and their 2 new booster mixers. Yummy. The Zesty Berry Booster Mixer and the Bango Mango Booster Mixer. Download the Boosters Reward app and try one today.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Oilers trying to get back into their series against the Kings, trailing 2-0 and puck drop just after 8:00. We've got pregame coverage for you here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson getting going at 6. Elsewhere, Caps taking on the Canadians, leading that series 2-0. Patrick Laine, game time decision. And then at 6, got the Devils and Canes. Devils trailing 2-0 in that one. In the association tonight, a few minutes away from tip-off down in Orlando with the Magic hosting the Celtics. Celtics up 2-0 there. You got the Bucks taking on the Pacers at 6. The Pacers can take a commanding 3-0 series lead. And then at 7:30, the Lakers in Minnesota. That series tied at a game each. In the majors, Toronto Blue Jays kicking off a series over the weekend with the New York Yankees down in the Bronx. Tonight gets going just after 5:00. We'll have both those games for you here on Sports 1440 on our AM dial only. Elsewhere, Cubbies on top of the Phillies 4-0 in the bottom of the first right now. Nationals and Mets scoreless. Later tonight, Giants taking on the Rangers. You have Pirates in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. Athletics, White Sox, Braves, Pods, Mariners, Marlins. 2-game postponed due to weather. Guardians, Red Sox, and the Orioles and Tigers. In the WHL, we've got conference championships getting going tonight. Tigers host the Hurricanes at 7. Then at 8, it's the Winterhawks traveling to Spokane to take on the Chiefs. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Alan Mitchell, host of The Lowdown with Lowetide. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixes for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Zesty Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Bango Mango Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice.
Come work with us this spring. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The My Choice sales event is back at Nissan, where you can get the all-new boldly redesigned Kicks with best-in-class cargo space. Right now, choose Kicks S front-wheel drive with $1,200 in Nissan bonus or accessory credit, or choose 3-year prepaid maintenance. The choice is yours with My Choice. Hurry in. These offers won't last long. Head to your local Nissan dealer today. Available in leasing or financing through NCF. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock on a positive Friday. We're just about 3 hours and 10 minutes away from puck drop tonight. The Oilers and the LA Kings. Montreal is it rocking there about the anthem. The building's going nuts, and that's what's going to happen 3 hours from now in Edmonton. Crowd's going to be loud in the rink, whether you're in on the rocks. Everybody gets fired up. It should be loads of fun. A Friday night NHL playoffs. A must-win games. I think the fans are all feel that they can help them will the team to a win, and they'll be a lot more vocal, which should make for a fun evening. And imagine if the Oilers score first, how much louder it will be there for sure. We are live and on the rocks, Jasper Avenue 118th. And hey, if you're looking for something else positive on a Friday, how about PlayAlberta.ca? $60 million up for grabs, and Lotto Max, as well as 6-1 million Max Millions. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction. Okay, so the GS Construction boys, they had multiple tables. They support a lot of different causes down at the Alzheimer's today. So good luck to Team GS in the Alzheimer's Faceoff tournament this weekend. Way to raise a lot of money. Good on you. As we welcome back to the show from Rogers Sportsnet, Mark Spector. Spec, good afternoon, my man. How you doing?
You down and on the rocks? How's Dr. Wang doing these days?
Oh, buddy, the doctor is he's pretty good. He's all fired up. He was going around. He gets pretty fired up on game days. So people that are coming down.
The doctor is in.
Oh, the doctor is in, and he is in fine form as always. I can just tell anybody who's coming down to OTR, you always get like off the charts great service from Dr. Wang. He's the best host in the city, but he makes it even better on playoff nights. So I'd highly recommend it. I don't know how he does it. That guy remembers everybody's name. It's wild, like wild. He might have the biggest Rolodex in Edmonton.
Well, a lot of people remembering his name when there's a lineup at the door on a Friday night.
It's true. That's actually a very good point. Spec, what did you make? Knobloch has not been one ever really that I can remember in his tenure to, be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do something in the morning skate that's going to be different from nighttime. And, we saw the difference, dry settle back with McDavid and Hyman. And we all, that doesn't surprise me. I think the forward lines, but then the D pairs, you had Bouchard with Klingberg, Nurse. I talked to Klingberg about playing the left side, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I've done it. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. He goes, I actually like it in certain situations, but coach's like, well, don't read too much into that. What do you make of that? Do you believe him? Is Knobloch trying to up the coaching 101 of secrecy? What do you make of that?
I don't know. Like, it's out of character for him, first of all, to run. Yeah. We've all seen coaches run out lines at the morning skate and then change them in the game. And even they even do the warm-ups in certain lines, some coaches, right? And then have different lines once the game starts. I think it's, I mean, honestly, I'd say it about everybody else, so I'll say it about the Oilers. It's a sign of perceived weakness. It's a sign that I can't just practice like I practice and beat you. I got to try to trick you too. I don't like that. And I don't, on one hand, I say I don't think Knobloch's doing that, but on the other hand, he warned the media today, don't make much out of that pairing that I just ran out at my morning skate. The only curveball that possibly exists is he had Stetcher and Brown on his fourth pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 and 8.
No, but do you think they go 11 and 7?
Well, 11 and 7, or maybe Stetcher plays. But are you really tricking everyone because you got Troy Stetcher coming in? Like, is that what we're doing here? Is that where we've reached the point?
Stetcher plays, Spec. If Stetcher plays and it's 6, who's coming out? Because it can't be Klingberg. He was probably their best defenseman last game.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe they go 7. Like, the subterfuge doesn't do it for me. I think it's one thing if Connor McDavid might not be playing and you don't want people to know. Okay, that's different. Yeah. But we're talking about a defense core that no one on the King is very worried about whether it's Wallman or Stetcher or Klingberg or, so I'm not sure what he's doing. We're going to find out what he's doing when they submit their lineup for the game. But right now, I have a question mark over all this thing too. I think I'm not really sure what we're doing here.
We had a lot of people text into the show earlier wondering, do you think the Oilers would consider, reducing a little bit of the minutes of their, they mentioned Bouchard, but I'm like, well, then who are you playing more? That's kind of the problem here, right? Like if Ekholm was healthy, then maybe, okay, well, we go Ekholm, Kulak, we can play some other guys a little bit more, but I don't even know if you can do it, if that's an option, because the thing is, yeah, Bouchard, like a lot of guys, has struggled in the first 2 games. I think that's fair to say. I've said it, Spec. Put me a list of guys who would say on the good list, it's pretty damn short. So the guys on the bad list, there's quite a few of them. So I don't know if now's the time to do it because A, you don't have a lot of better options, and B, Bouchard has shown you that he can play well. I know he hasn't played as well as you would like for 2 games, but he has shown it in the past, and I'm guessing that's what they'll lean on tonight.
Yeah. Your point that they don't have a lot of, secondary options is well taken, right? They, let's say you take 10 minutes away from Bouchard. Who's getting them here, right? Klingberg is going to get them. Sure. Okay. Who else is going to get them? Is Emberson going to get more time? I mean, okay, you can do that, I suppose. But the second part of your point that Bouchard, we've seen him play well before, I think that's running out. if it hasn't run out already. Because I'm the guy that's been saying it all year. The reason we hold Bouchard to such a high standard is because we saw how well he played last season down the stretch and in the playoffs for 4 rounds. He was like Superman in the offensive zone and really quite fine in his own zone, if not pretty good. Like he set the standard for himself. We haven't seen that in 82, 83, 84 games now. We haven't seen it. It's not going to show up in the 85th game, Jason. His defensively, this is a lost year for Evan Bouchard, and it ain't coming back. I'm here to tell you. So I could see in this situation that Paul Coffey and the coaching staff might be saying, we got to take some defensive minutes away from this guy because we're tired of waiting for last year's Evan Bouchard. It's not coming, pal. Like, are you still waiting for it to show up? Because I think I stopped.
Well, I said it before, like he wasn't going to match last year's playoffs. It was a record break, and that's not a knock. That's just because it was so good. You're not going to be there. Like you're not going to put up that many points.
But Jay, don't match it offensively because it was record breaking offensively. You're right. Yeah. He's not going to get. What did he have in the playoffs last year?
30 points. Something like that.
Listen, if you get a few less points, I get it. I'm not going to say you can't match your level of defensive determination and focus and commitment. You can match that. That's in your control. He didn't fluke off that defensive play. He didn't get a bunch of breaks and play well defensively. He played well defensively because he dug in and played well defensively. He didn't get right. So I expect that from him, and that's a compliment.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I would say he was so good offensively. You get confidence one area, it transfers into other areas of your game, right? And right now, look at their power play. Like nobody on that power play. I know Connor McDavid, and hey, he's the captain. He's like, hey, we got some good looks, and I'm like, I didn't see any good looks you got. Like, what are we talking about here? You had Hyman, and really that was the only good look they've had in 2 games on the power play. So I understand. Like they haven't now. His analysis was correct though, in that the way LA is playing, because there was 3 times, Spec, if you watch on those power plays where LA had 2 or 3 guys up high. Now the difference is they're knocking down the passes, but Edmonton, if they get that pass through, it's a 2-on-1 down low with 2-on-1 down low from the top of the circle, like loads of space, but the puck didn't get there. I think there was something that McDavid said. I think everybody should be watching for tonight. Look for the Oilers power play, Spec. I think they're going to try to stuck in's the right word, but they're going to try to exploit LA's aggressiveness tonight and say, okay, we have to execute better. And if we make that one-touch pass, Nugent-Hopkins had one that he missed, McDavid had one that he missed, where they had guys down low wide open, and one time it would have been a 3-on-1. And so that's what I'm kind of curious to see if they can do, where, because they've always adapted. We've seen it, teams just try to shut down their power play, but it doesn't mean it happens right away either, right? Like tonight, if they score 1 goal, that's a win. I'm not expecting to suddenly go 50% on the power play in 1 game. It's always possible with them, but look for them to try to exploit the aggressiveness of the Kings power play tonight.
Well, what we've seen with Edmonton's power play is when it's at the very peak of its game, it almost paralyzes the defense. They're afraid to be aggressive, right? Because they make you pay. A guy gets aggressive and pinches somewhere outside the box too much, and boom, tic-tac-toe, and someone's tapping a goal in. So we've seen that. And what we've also seen is on games where, say, McDavid's not on the power play, maybe he's hurt, the other team gets real aggressive real fast. When their power play is not going great, is it cause or effect? What came first, right? Is the power play not going great because LA is very aggressive? Or is LA very aggressive because Edmonton's power play hasn't been that great? So the one way to tame down LA is to, as McDavid says, you got to execute. Then if they're going to be aggressive, you got to make 3 quick, good, accurate passes in a row that get through the lanes. And all of a sudden, if you exploit their aggressiveness will likely go away. If you score a couple on them, they're going to say, okay, we got to change now. Right now, LA is doing everything they want to do all over the ice in every situation, and it's Edmonton reacting. The way to turn the series around, a starting point, is to get LA reacting a little bit and maybe looking at their video and maybe changing their game just a little bit. And maybe that means something they're doing isn't working, because right now, everything is working for the Black team.
Mark Spector, Jason Gregor with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, And Nugent Hopkins looked like back with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, which is a trio. You've got Kane with Henrique and Brown. The combinations, whatever spec. All I know is that through 2 games, like each game, your bottom 6 scored you a goal, which is normally, you talked about at the start of the playoffs. Hey, if your bottom 6 chips in one, like that's what they've done. Their bottom 6 to this point, to me, has done their job for the most part. It's, you need a little bit more 5-on-5 and on the power play. Like there's really been one period where your top guys, and on it, like McDavid was unreal for one period, but McDavid, now Draisaitl has 2 goals. So, he's done his part, but Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, and hey, Kane's back in the lineup. He's got to do something. Henrique, there's a lot of guys here that got to get going.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that got to get going for sure. I mean, Nugent Hopkins is one. He's the one healthy guy who's going to be a second-line center, a top 6 player. He's got top 6 wingers. Nugent Hopkins got to make some plays and make some things happen. You got to notice Nugent Hopkins more in Game 3 than we've noticed him in Game 1 and Game 2. I think you're right. Like my recipe's always been thinking that playoff, you got to get the 3 goals in the playoffs. And if you do, it should be enough most nights. So that's a bottom 6 goal, or I put the bottom 6 in the defense together. Get a goal from the bottom 6 in your defense, get a goal from your top line or your top 6, and get a power play goal. Now you got 3 goals. If you're going to let in 5 or 6 every night, Jay, it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter because you're not getting 7. So the Oilers have to improve the defensive play. The first thing is first here. We talk about scoring. Yeah, they got to get the 3 or 4, but none of that's going to matter if they're giving up the grade ace or giving up. They have to hold the Kings to a reasonable amount of goals so that you can look at yourself and say, okay, we can win this game. Going into the third period down 4-1 every night, that ain't the solution.
Spec, it should be a hell of a game. What's your expectations for the Oilers tonight?
Well, you know what? I always covered a lot of these games, like these 2-0 games. And the one thing that's been true over all the years is this, Jay. Edmonton is genuinely desperate. The season is on the line, right? Let's face it. They have to win this game. So there's a level of desperation and intensity that the Oilers will bring out of their dressing room tonight that the Kings can't match. The Kings can't have. They just don't have it. Like you can tell yourself you have it, but they're up 2-0. They can afford to lose. The Oilers can't afford to lose. So channeling that desperation, that intensity, that absolute need to win, that's what the Oilers have to do. It's an advantage, right? It was an advantage for St. Louis last night. It's an advantage for Montreal tonight, and it's an advantage for the Oilers. You got to use it in the right way. If you do, and you get the crowd help you and all those things, this game is about emotion to some extent, Jay. If you use that advantage, you got a real good chance of getting a start. If you get the lead on LA, I think now you're starting in the right direction, right? You got to get the lead on the defensively solid team. And the last one I'll say to you is, remember, the Kings were the best home team in the league this year in the regular season, but they were .450 on the road, right? Biggest drop-off in the NHL on the road from home is the LA Kings. They're not unbeatable in your building, even if they seem like they are in theirs.
Spec, we'll see you at the rink. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day.
All right. Looking forward to it, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. We are live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave, on 118th Street. For those watching, see it. Ooh, nice little logo there right behind us. I love it. We'll return. LT will be by. We'll crunch some numbers. We'll talk some matchups. We got the lineup report, although we're not sure. Chris Knobloch, a little bit of a curveball potentially on what might happen for the defensive pairings. We'll get to all that and more. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. If you haven't got in, maybe that's okay. Get in right now. You get $100 free play first time you sign up. Or if it's your 50th time you're making a deposit, use the promo code Gregor100, Gregor100 at PlayAlberta.ca.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Now until April 30th, The Brick is saving you more. Save up to 60% off Canadian-made sofas when you buy the matching Love Seater chair. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. And when you use your Flexity card, get equal monthly payments and 0% interest for 60 months on furniture and mattress purchases. Plus, you're automatically entered to win a $5,000 Brick shopping spree. And the more you buy, the more you save. Up to an additional $1,200 off select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
May 3rd, don't miss Riverside Motorsports' annual spring blowout. Save 15% on parts, gear, and accessories, and up to 60% off non-current riding apparel. Pre-purchase 30% off tires for your street bike and get a free installation. Please call to book your spot. Plus, get a chance to win 2 Morgan Wallen tickets. Bring the whole family down for free hot dogs and pop at Riverside's annual spring blowout. Highway 2 North in St. Albert. RideRiverside.com.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Use promo code Gregor and get 20% off your order all day, every day. That's promo code Gregor before entering your order at papajohns.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
526. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Cons, I know you and Declan. I don't even know. Are you guys even listening right now? Because I know the NFL draft is on. Any early picks you two are debating back at the studio?
Well, yeah, we are locked on here pretty heavily. There's already been some trades. We thought maybe the Seahawks were moving in to get Shedeur Sanders. Not the case. The Miami Dolphins just made a trade here, but nothing too shocking. I think the
How many picks have gone?
We're into pick 37 right now.
Okay, so 5 picks today, though?
5 picks, yes.
Oh, no, there's 32, so 3, 4, okay.
And the Dolphins just took a guard from Arizona.
Okay, so Sanders still not picked, eh?
Still not picked. We'll keep you updated, though.
Oh, yeah, well, geez, maybe he's not as good as everybody thinks. And maybe he's going to show them all that they were wrong. That's what's great about it. It'll be fantastic. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a great day. Of course, it's the Oilers and the LA Kings, and you can watch it right here on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Get down, come on in. People are starting to file in already. Got the early game. You got happy hour till 8 o'clock, and then you got specials on food and beverages all throughout the game. And lots of people in Oilers gear, but you don't have to be. Just come here, have a lot of fun. Let's get now to our playoff report brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month continues on at GMC. get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on a 2025 Sierra HD model. See more at gmccanada.ca. As Alan Mitchell, the host of the Lowdown noon to 2 on Sports 1440, joins us. Al, you look at the orders and you crunch out. People are freaking out because I was like, goaltending to me hasn't been the biggest problem. And here's my argument why I'm not even sold that it's directly. It would be maybe tied for 5th if I wanted to really argue. When your power play has no goals, your penalty kill has 50%. You have given up 20 high danger chances, some of the most ghastly turnovers, like not easy chance, but unbelievable, like super high danger. And you've taken the most penalties. The Oilers don't have an elite goalie. So unless you're expecting your goalie to save everything, I'm like, you fix those other things. And guess what? If the Oilers play better tonight, Al, I'm going to say it right now. Shocking. Pickard's going to have good numbers because the Oilers goalies aren't elite of elite. They're not going to save you every game. So if you play well in front of them, they'll give you a better chance.
Yeah, I agree totally. I think Stuart Skinner is between 10 and 15 in terms of starters in the National Hockey League. Now, people are rolling their eyes, and I get it. But if you look at this team in this playoff run, Evan Bouchard had, last I checked, I didn't check today, had 7 5-on-5 giveaways, 7. And we know 2 of them ended up in the back of the net. One was just unbelievable. I mean, if they had the depth, they probably would have sat him for a bit. It was just egregious. But the other problem is that the Oilers are taking dumb penalties. Adam Henrique, an example. They're giving the puck away all over the ice. I mean, it seems to me as though, and I know they're trying. I'm not trying to pick on them, but it seems to me like every time they make a poor play, it's a 2-on-1 the other way. And goaltenders are, you try to stop as many as you can, but when you're giving up, I think it was 11 high dangers the other night, and Skinner stopped 8 of them, I think. And so, like, 8 of 11, like, I know you want 11 out of 11, but that's not how the world works. Stop giving up 11 high danger chances.
Well, it was actually 14. And here's the one thing I do like to point out, because a lot of people follow Natural Stat Trick, and I get it, it's publicly available, but they're not as accurate in high danger. You got CSA, Clear Sight Analytics, right? They got a much more in-depth system because Natural Stat Trick, for anybody who's curious how they get their numbers, they scrape the NHL game sheet, right? And they see shot location, and that's what they determine it from. They don't go off a video to see who's shooting, because you could be 10 feet in front, and what if I fan on the puck, right? Like, if you miss the net, they don't view that as high. Now, if you hit the goalpost, CSA will count it. So they had 14 high danger, 13 that were considered on net because one hit a goalpost, right? In one game. Right. Like, they didn't give up that much in any game all last playoffs. And the one game they did, Skinner stood on his head. So people say, see, he can do it. Yeah, but he did that after being consecutive, like 10 really solid games, because that happened in game 6 against Dallas. So it can happen, but that doesn't mean, like, I don't look at Skinner and say he played terrible. He didn't play great. Totally fair. He was just kind of meh. Probably wanted an extra save or 2, sure. But you talked about Bouchard. I thought, like, where's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins been in this series? Is he even in it? Right? Like Zach Hyman. Like, there's a lot of guys who I think their play has been less than what Skinner played for what. Now, he plays maybe a more important position, sure. But if you look at the players that they rely on and how they're built structurally and cap-wise, I don't think Skinner, he's never been a guy who's going to be, a consistent leader of their team just yet. Now, maybe that frustrates people, and that's fair, but you got so many other guys, Bouchard, Nurse, they're on the ice a ton. They got to play better. Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, the power play has to play better. Like, to me, it's a team effort. It can't just be focusing on one guy. And if they change the goalie, because if the Oilers win tonight, everyone's going to say, see, I told you. And I'm going to be like, oh, really? Now let's break down. What about the scoring chances? Oh, if the power play scores 2 goals, don't tell me it's because Pickard's in net. What the hell does he have to do with the power play scoring 2 goals?
That's true. And 35 games entering this year, playoff time. That's an investment the organization's made in a young goaltender. You're hoping that pays off, and maybe it's not this year, but I'll tell you that you want to talk about goaltenders who go sideways. Connor Halley is going to win another Vezina. Did it last year. It sometimes happens. That isn't what we're seeing here. What we're seeing is 2 games where, and look, I know based on the lines and pairings today at practice, I think there's some guys who are banged up, and I get that, and I understand, and I do have time for that. But here's the problem when you blame the goaltender. If you put Dominic Hasek or Bernie Perron of my youth on this Edmonton Oilers team, they might give up, instead of 11 goals, maybe 9. Like, this is a flood. This is a cascade. This is an avalanche of mistakes and turnovers. And I'm not going to say indifferent play, because I don't think it is. I think these are, if you look at the goal Byfield scored, look, Nurse was too far up. Absolutely. That was a mistake. But Bouchard had to move over. He just did. I'm sorry, but he had to move over. He had to make that play, that advance to the net, because I think he had 2 strides and he was there, Byfield. You have to interfere. You have to get in the way, slash his stick, break his stick, do something, because it's peril. And the indifference that the Oilers have, I don't know whether I know they haven't been overcoached, because they've been with these guys all year. They know how to play for Knobloch and Coffey. There's something wrong with the Oilers right now. Maybe the shock to the system of losing 2 in LA is going to turn them around. But I think blaming the goaltender is the easy thing to do. And I don't think it's reflective of what the series has been so far. The series has been a series of failures, including the special teams, which we haven't talked about. There's 7 goals for and 7 against at even strength. They're 4-0 on the power play and penalty kill. Power play is ghastly, and the penalty kill, I mean, it's a swim-up bar in the slot when they're plowing the penalty kill, and you've got to beat somebody. You've got to intercept something. They seem very passive, and LA is running all over them.
Jason Gregor, Alan Mitchell joined us. Hey, we get to the special teams and the power play. Now, Connor McDavid, I thought, had a pretty insightful response today, talking about the Oilers' power play. Now, hey, he says, we've had some good looks. I don't really believe they've had good looks as far as getting shots on net. Now, where they did have looks was there was 3 times in that last game. LA's very aggressive, Al, and they had guys pushing up high. And if you get that puck through, which they didn't, but if you get it through, in 2 cases, it would have had a 2-on-1 down low. In 1 case, it would have had a 3-on-1. And I think that's maybe what he was referring to, that LA is very aggressive. And Edmonton, hey, you still have the advantage. It's 5-on-4. Now, you got to outwork them for sure, but you got to out-execute them. And if you can do that, you'll get some big looks. It's just a matter of, so far, they haven't been able to do it. Now, it's only 5 power plays, so it's not like, we're talking 50 here. It's 5. But in a short series, like, you can't wait till game 4 or 5 to get your power play going. You just don't have time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that have come together. Like they're incorporating guys who've been out for a while and they're a little bit rusty. The hands aren't quite there. That's what happens on the power play. I think they are a little bit predictable. But even with all of that, in game 1 in the 3rd period, they were flying, and they had the LA Kings on their heels instead of their toes. The Oilers can do this, but they keep making it's the mistakes and the turnovers and the poor coverage and the gap control, which is what they know. They know this. They just haven't been able to play it. And I will give LA credit, because I do think they're a faster team maybe than they were a year ago. Byfield's all grown up. Brent Clark hasn't yet, but he's getting there. But they have to take advantage, because they've got some slow boots on the LA Kings. They've got some older players on the LA Kings. The Oilers have to take advantage. One of the things they can do tonight is maybe try to get some clean air for McDavid. Maybe they, double shift or something like that, or Draisaitl, although maybe he's banged up. I don't know. But to me, there's got to be an opportunity where the Oilers get McDavid's line, or at least McDavid, away from Daniel and the Doughty pairing, so he can make some noise. And when he does, I think that, if the Oilers got a 2-0 lead in this game tonight, I think you'd see a different series and people would start to believe again. But they're always shooting themselves in the foot with the turnovers and the mistakes, and that's been the story of the series through 2 games.
Yeah. Al, what do you see as the biggest realistic improvement for the Oilers tonight?
Well, I think stopping turnovers, stopping mistakes. I think they can eat the puck instead of passing it to a dangerous area. I do think that if the coaching staff can get the McDavid line, I mean, I'm not thrilled that they're playing with Draisaitl, but get that line some really good matchups, like almost every offensive face-off in the Los Angeles zone. Get them out there, get Leon to win the battle. That's been a problem. Face-off. But if they can win possession in the first 10 seconds after the face-off in the offensive zone and do something like get a goal, get some pressure, get the line and the pairing that's on the ice for LA tired and overworked, and they're extending themselves. I think the Oilers have to make the LA Kings work. I think it's been a walk in the park, so I do believe that's something they can do. The Oilers are a smart hockey club. They just haven't shown it yet.
Al, what happens this weekend? The Oilers, first of all, tonight. What happens tonight?
I think they win tonight. I think they'll win tonight, and I think I think Sunday's going to be the series, honestly, because I think if they win tonight, then it's a matter of if you can come back and get it to 2, then I think they win a game on the road, and maybe it's game 5. But tonight is obviously pivotal. But Sunday, I think LA, I'm not going to say they're going to fold tonight, but I think that if the Oilers play well enough, like St. Louis did last night, I think that the game won't be as much in doubt. Then it gets down to Sunday. Because if the Oilers win Sunday, I think they win the series.
All right. Al, it should be a fun weekend, especially starting tonight. Enjoy it. We will talk to you on Monday.
All right, go Eagles. I got a big pick coming up in the second round. I can feel it, baby.
Al Mitchell, he is a huge Eagles fan. We'll come back, wrap things up. We'll give you the lineups. Hey, little team. We don't know for sure about the Kings. Remember, the Kings ended up going 11-7 last game, although they didn't really play their 7 defensemen. They basically went with 11 forwards. Will they continue that tonight? We'll find out. The orders, there's going to be some changes. We'll tell you what they are next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Orange and blue, and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta sports and casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
You know how you look forward to all your favorite sports coming back in the spring? Soccer, baseball, golf. Well, GS Construction looks forward to getting back to work with the warmer weather. We're all excited and geared up for this very busy time of year. The groundbreaking season is upon us, and GS Construction is ready to roll with all sorts of new projects. Projects that help the community and make the place we live in better. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixes for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Zesty Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Mango Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999. Download the Booster Rewards app and order one today.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref.
That ain't hard, is it?
And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
We've been waiting for this since preseason. It's playoff time, and Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey. Kevin, Lowetide, Jason, and the pre- and post-game shows with Andrew. So many reasons why we're Edmonton's sports leader.
The Alzheimer's Faceoff, presented by Christensen Communities Limited, hits the ice today until Sunday. This Edmonton-based tournament pairs hockey fans with some of their favorites from the NHL Alumni Association for a fun-filled weekend, featuring a champions luncheon and tournament. Teams have been fundraising in the community, enabling the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories to continue providing help for today through free education programs and support services, and hope for tomorrow through research. For more information or to learn how you can get involved, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I love the word April. April would be a good nickname for me because April is the month where we have the most quality used RVs on our lot. That includes camping trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, toy haulers, big ones, small ones, and they're all in one convenient location here in Leduc.
Sounds like a lot of used RVs, Rick.
That's right, Bob. We always have hundreds of used RVs for you to see up close and personal. But in April, we have even more because the people who sell their RVs with us know that this is when folks are looking to buy. It's the best time of the year, whether you're buying or selling.
Sounds like you'll be busy in April, Rick.
You know it, Bob. Our team works hard connecting families with the right used RV for their outdoor lifestyle. With one trip to No Bull, you can see more RVs than you'd ever think possible. And it's a great way to spend a day in April.
And that's No Bull.
NobleRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Get your power play amped up with UL, supplying the city of champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. UL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Live 44, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. Lots of plans for the weekend, whether you're watching the games, a party. Maybe some of you I know like to watch it solo. You get too fired up. You don't want anyone around. You're having house parties. You're coming to On the Rocks, Jasper Ave 118th. Maybe you're lucky enough to go to the game. Maybe going to the outdoor event tonight. Either way, have fun. Be smart. Please don't drink and drive. Don't get inebriated and get behind the wheel. There's lots of options to get home safe. The weather's great. Hey, walk a few blocks. Won't hurt you. Probably help you. Cure the hangover a little bit. So either way, everybody get safe and sound so we can all agree, disagree, be excited. Many of you will be angry, I'm assuming, if the Oilers lose, but probably excited if they win. So, like, imagine what could change, like, the whole energy and emotion of Oilers fans in a span of 48 hours. Well, I guess technically that would be 50 hours, 51 by the time Game 3 starts and Game 4 finishes on Sunday night. It could be a very different vibe here in Edmonton. So we will see. We will see. Hey, Gregor, it isn't just 5 games, though. The power play has been average all year from Jeff. You know what's funny, Jeff? Because I think the Oilers raised the bar so high. The Oilers' power play was 25.3% until Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl missed, 11 of the final 13 games, and McDavid missed 8 of them, whatever it was. They're 25.3% up until March 20th. And that would put them in 7th place and, 0.03 out of 5th. So still pretty good. Far from average. I just, like, people are expecting because it's like 32% or 29% that somehow 25 feels terrible. Well, there's only one team over 29% this year, and that was Winnipeg right at 30. So Edmonton, you know what the difference this year in their power play was? They didn't have as many games where they had multiple goals, right? And because power play opportunities were down, so they scored fewer goals, but their percentage was still there. Like the Oilers had 170 power play, and then they had the 43 goals going through that 25%, right? And that was through 69 games, right? They finished I should just check quickly what they finished the season at. They finished the season. Obviously, they dropped down because in the last 13 games, they only scored 4 power play goals, right? So that obviously limited their power play chances. But if you look at it, like their power play opportunities this year were 215. And then you base that on the year before or even the previous year, you're talking 50 fewer power play chances, right? So the Oilers, like last year, the Oilers were actually only 26%. They're really only 1% better last year, but they scored 64 goals in the 82 games compared to the 43 at 25% in 69 games. Right? Makes a pretty big difference. So it doesn't seem like it's as dominant because you don't get as many chances. Your efficiency is the same, but you're not scoring as many goals. Like they scored 89 power play goals in 2023, but they also had 275 power play opportunities. 275. This year, the Oilers had 215. That's 60 fewer power play. And I wrote about it. The NHL's a joke how much power plays have dropped in the league. You're telling me that all of a sudden that the cleanest league in the no, it's a joke. So that's why you think, it doesn't seem like it's as impactful because they're not scoring as many goals, but their percentage is about the same. But when you don't have as many games where you have 2 power play goals. Oh man, our power play is really giving us a boost tonight, and that's a big difference for sure. So, hey boys, anyone who thinks that the Oilers just need another goalie, look what happened in St. Louis last night. Even the best goalie in the world gets lit up if you're not committed to defending the right way. Constantly turn the puck and stay disciplined. Doesn't matter who's in net. JC. Well, I think that's true to a point, JC. Most nights, you're right. If the best goalies in the league, if they're getting peppered like the Oilers goalies have, you're going to need an unbelievable effort from your goaltender to do it through 2 games. It's like, especially the giveaways the Oilers had. And like I've said, and you all watched the game. Look at the goals the Oilers scored. Look at the goals LA scored, and then count how many players were around the LA guys within a 5-10 foot radius at some. There's 6 goals where there was no one within a stick length. And you had 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. The Oilers didn't have that. So you give good NHL players time and space, they're going to rock you. That's what it happens. So, hey, guys, I believe as long as Pickard is just steady, the Oilers will win. Yeah, man, maybe. Hey, if he's steady, guess what? If he's steady, it means he's not facing 14 high-danger chances. Because if he's facing 4 high-danger, then he's going to have to be out of his mind good. So if he's steady, that means the Oilers defensively have been infinitely better. And if that happens, then I think their chances of winning increase significantly. Now, let's get to the lineup report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. If you're looking outside today, you're like, ooh, man, I need a boat. I just want to sit on the water, maybe go fishing. I want to go water ski, whatever you want. How about you can get in a boat at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine for cool bi-weekly payments of $149. Pretty good. Or get an ATV, 50 bones bi-weekly. Check it out at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. The Oilers lineup, of course, Calvin Pickard, if you missed it, he will be starting in goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. We know that skaters are going to be the same 18, at least we think that. Troy Stecher, though, did skate today and took part in everything, moving pretty well, so I guess there's a chance, maybe. But the D pairings in practice for the morning skate today had Bouchard and Klingberg, Nurse and Emberson, Wallman and Kulak. Now, the coach did say, don't put too much stock into that. So take it for what it is. I'm just the messenger here. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson were a trio. Henrique with Brown and Kane, Frederick with Janmark and Perry. Those I'd probably put a little bit more stock into. But the D pairings, we shall see. The Los Angeles Kings did make a change last game. They went with 11 and 7, right? You had Kuzmenko, Kopitar, Kempe. They've been great. Byfield, Laferriere, and Fiala. Deneau, Moore, and Fogle. You had Malott, Hellenius, and Mouvreur did eventually play in the third period, but he was a 7th defenseman and didn't take a shift until the game was well over. Doughty and Anderson, they're going to face a lot of McDavid again tonight. Gavrikov and Spence, Brandt Clark, and Joel Edmondson. And, of course, Darcy Kemper is in between the pipes. The Edmonton Oilers, hey, you got to get rolling here in some departments. You got to get better at lots of areas, but they need to be better on the power play. The Oilers come in obviously dead last, tied with New Jersey. The Oilers don't have a power play goal. Only them in New Jersey don't have a power play goal thus far through 2 games, whereas the Kings are 50%, which is tied for second. The Maple Leafs are 55.6% through their 3-game series. Pretty good. On the penalty kill, the Kings are second they're tied for first with Carolina at 100%. The Oilers, not good. They are 15th at 50%. Only Ottawa's worse at 44.4. So, Captain Obvious, those are some significant areas they need to improve upon. They've given up 20 high danger chances through 2 games, according to ClearSight Analytics, which is awful. So you gotta get way better in that regard, and we can see what they do. Connor Halley, give me your one area of improvement that could lead to a win for the Oilers.
I'm gonna say finding the offense, getting to the blue paint. That's how they had success in game 1 in that third period, was going to the net, breaking through the Kings defense core that they just like to, drop 5 guys back and you can cover them with a blanket. Get to the blue paint. I think that leads to positive things for the Oilers because you can talk about defense and all that. That'd like to be improved upon as well. But they only scored 2 goals last game. So I'm going to say get to the net, make Kemper's life uncomfortable.
Make Kemper's life uncomfortable. All right. I also want you to, I want an update on how do the towels look at home. I'll be in the rink, and obviously in the rink, it's still, I can get a sense, but I'll be curious for those of you watching, the pom-poms are no longer for tonight. They're bringing out the orange towels. So see if that makes a difference. If they win, people will be like, yeah, it's the towels. It's the towels. Who knows? Enjoy the night. We got pregame show coming up next. Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and then, of course, right after the game, all the post-game reaction here on Sports 1440, where sports lives. Enjoy your night. Be safe. Don't be inebriated. And have fun at OTR, Jasper Ave and 118th Street, where the game will be busy tonight. That is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man on a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the LA Kings. Game 3. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson coming up next year on Sports 1440. Calvin Pickard getting the start for the Oil. 2 other games tonight. One underway after 20 minutes. Caps and Canadians tied at 1 apiece. And at 6 o'clock, you got the Devils taking on the Canes. Ottawa's Nick Cousins been fined at just over $2,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA for unsportsmanlike conduct last night in the warm-up against Toronto when he fired a puck at Leafs goaltender Anthony Stolarz. The organization, that being Ottawa, also fined $25,000 in the association. Got the Celtics trailing the Magic 33-27 in the second quarter. Celtics lead that series 2-0. In about 10 minutes' time, the Bucks try to get back into their series with the Pacers. And then at 7:30, Lakers and Timberwolves meeting in Minneapolis. That series side of the game each as well. In the majors, Blue Jays kicking off a series against the New York Yankees. Right now, scoreless in the top of the 4th. Elsewhere, Nationals up on the Mets 2-0 later tonight. Brewers, Cards, Rockies, Reds, the Braves in Arizona. Pirates travel to Los Angeles, and the Giants taking on the Rangers. Couple games postponed due to weather. Guardians, Red Sox, and Orioles, Tigers. And the NFL draft round 2 is underway. Still no Shedeur Sanders. Tyler Shuck, though, selected by the New Orleans Saints. And from the WHL conference finals tonight, you've got the Tigers hosting the Hurricanes at 7, and at 8, Chiefs up against the Winterhawks. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Is Sports 1440.